welcome. I'm glad you're all here. It's a beautiful day.
Sure is.
Just up front, I was just sharing the apples on the trees. I don't want to ever pick because a lot aren't ripe and some have shelf life. People don't understand not all apples are the same. I have, like Honeycrisp. You don't eat this time of year because they store in my cooler for a whole year. I don't start eating those till next spring, summer because everything else is done by then. And so there's certain things that have certain time frames. And because I don't go to the store ever, and this is my food supply, it's kind of important that I have things in place to eat all year because, I don't use the store. And but anything on the ground, you're welcome to. And many on the ground are really good and sweet. There's people eating them can tell you that they're good, not bad, and they're full of water. And the other thing, a couple disclaimers I always share because I want to be sincere, is that I have absolutely nothing to sell, and this is not about me, really. I will get excited at times because I'm so blown away at what I'm seeing and experiencing, and I kind of get carried away. And it may look I'm trying to, say, look what I'm doing, but I know this is not me. I'm not doing this. This is something about the earth having a skin, and I'm replacing the skin. And when the earth has a skin, it does abundantly beyond what you could ask or think. It's huge. And that's the nature of the creator who made it. He's really a good creator, and he really cares about his creation, and he maintains it very well. And he's given us everything we need in abundance. And it's simply understanding that the skin has the earth has a skin, and you don't take it off. What's been so pathetic from day one, the first creation of man, missed it, and has been taking the skin off, and we followed suit. It doesn't work. We're losing all the topsoil. Today we're all sick. All of our food tastes terrible, and we're not getting it. Minerals are the foundation to all of life. Did you hear me? The foundation to all of life are minerals. And in soils that people are growing plants that are taking out minerals and putting nothing back, the soil becomes mineral deficient. Simple math. And when you don't get minerals, you're not well. Your immune system is not supported, and you get sick. When you get minerals, the reverse happens. I had the most interesting experience yesterday. I don't usually do this on Saturday, but a group of people, 4 of them came down from Mexico, and we're in Victoria, and they were going to come today, but you see the last ferry going out is 5:30, and it wouldn't be time, so I had them come yesterday. I went and picked them up at noon when they showed up, and they came to my place at noon. This is lunchtime. They had no food. I'm walking down my driveway, and I see this fig, one last fig, and 3 of them ate it, were blown away with the flavor. As they were leaving at 5 o'clock to go back to the ferry, the man made a very interesting comment. He says, I came to your place at noon and I had no lunch and I was hungry. It's 5 o'clock now, and what's blowing my mind, I'm totally satisfied and I'm not thinking about food. And all I did was just sample produce, stuff in your yard. And I feel totally satisfied. And you know what I'm getting? I got this a week ago. I had a woman came here, spent a month. She came here sick and tired, literally. She's going to bed at 7 o'clock at night, getting up at 10 and always tired and sick all the time because her food's no good. While she was here, she was utterly blown away at how her health totally changed around. And she couldn't believe how little she's eating and feeling so satisfied. I mean, one night she took a leek and just sauteed it, and that's all she had for dinner. Just leek. And was completely satisfied. So she's eating this plum, and she makes a statement that really got my attention. She says, I buy comfort food, and I'll buy a quart of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. And when I eat it, I'm enjoying it, but when I'm done, I'm not satisfied. I don't feel good. I ate this plum, and I feel totally satisfied. And you know what I heard inside? The Rolling Stones were right. You can't get no satisfaction apart from God.
That's right.
The only place you get satisfaction is God and things He's made. Anything man made, anything man done will never satisfy. When you get live food like this, you're satisfied because He created it to meet the needs of your cells, and it's all there. It's just so beautiful. If you haven't had some of the nasturtiums over here, pick them because they're really good. These flowers, because they're really good. I want you to sample food, and because I want you to experience that everything you eat here is different than anything you've ever had in your life. I don't care where you come from. I'm 65 years old. I've been gardening since I was 5 years old. I've been putting 60 years into gardening. I kind of know what I'm doing. I used to wear out shovels as kids, spading for my dad. So I know the hard part of it. And as I'm experiencing this and experiencing this food, I know that what I have here is something you'll never find anywhere else because of what it is. And so I want you to experience it and to get into your mind an adjustment that how I've been living is not right, and I should be living at a level of incredible nutrient density and satisfaction because that's how it was made. Let me show you some contrast here to give you some perspective. See these sequoia trees here? These are sequoia trees, and they're just young, they're just teenagers, 18 years old. If you look in close, you can see they're quite big, the trunks. But I want you to look at the color of that foliage on the tips. Miracle Grow 20-20-20 at any level can never do that. I don't care how much you use. Are you following me? Look at the color of that green. You know what maintains that? You know how that's supported? You see the needles on the ground? Those needles that you think in your mind are dead, funky needles are the most amazing fertilizer on the planet. You know what's so cool about the Creator? I just love his genius mind. You see, every fall, I don't know if you noticed, but every fall the Creator puts a covering of needles and leaves over the whole planet. Every fall. Notice that? But what's interesting, you see these conifers don't drop needles because they're evergreen. Are you following me? Those green needles never fall out. They stay there forever. So you know how he gets them to feed themselves? He sends a hot, dry summer, and you see inside in the interior all those brown needles? Come winter, he sends a wind. You know where all those brown needles end up? On the ground. The tree looks like nothing came out, there was no deficiency, no depletion, and all that stuff goes in the ground and maintains that beautiful dark green, healthy tree. I'm just telling you, this Creator's awesome. And you know the genius of the fall covering? Let me ask you, when do farmers who go to school and spend a lot of money to get an education and go in debt to do it, fertilize their farms?
Spring.
How stupid. Think about it. Fertilizer takes time to get to the root level via gravity, and they're planting in spring. It's not going to get to the root time. The Creator in his genius mind does it in the fall, and then he sends rain and snow all winter to create compost tea that goes into the soil to build the soil for next spring's growth. What a great idea. And what's so cool about it, he's not working. He uses gravity to do all the work for him. When you start checking in and watch how nature works, you're blown away at the wisdom and genius of the Creator. I mean, it's awesome. Let me show you some contrast here. You see this rhododendron next to my sequoia tree? Anyone who has an understanding of trees, you know where you're standing is the ground is covered with roots from this tree. They're out here. For a tree that big, you got roots way out here. Thick. Anybody who's had a tree like this and had a plant like that growing next to it in dirt, it does not look like that. Look at the density of foliage, the health of it, and this has never been watered or fertilized all summer. And if you look close, look at the ton of buds. Look how many buds are on that. Getting ready to bloom this spring. I'm telling you, I'm a gardener, and if this was dirt, that wouldn't happen. And to give you some contrast, just look across the fence at my neighbor's rhododendron.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I just want you to get contrast here, to see perspective. You see, this has the skin. That doesn't. Now they put wood chips, but you see what's underneath? They put landscape cloth. How stupid. You see, the benefit from the wood chips never get to the plant because that landscape cloth stops it. And what's even more pathetic, they put landscape cloth to stop weeds, and the weeds are growing fine in the wood chips. So you see, this is the whole idea of being sent to school and having your brain erased. This makes no sense. The landscape cloth is ugly. All the ends are coming up. You can see it. It's not working. And they paid for that and put it down because they went to school and had their brains erased and don't think. I'm telling you, man, it's huge. You see this cherry tree right here? This is a Royal Land cherry tree that was planted 35 years ago. I was here when they planted it. It's 35 years old, and you can see the trunk there. It's stressed. And if you look at the foliage at the tops up there, you know it's tired. And just saying, you know, I'm old. I'm tired. Want to see something unique, amazing? You see that cherry tree right down there?
By the barn.
By the barn? That is a Royal Land cherry tree, exact same tree. What's amazing to me is that's 20 years younger. It's 15 years old. Look at the size and color of that. We're going to get up close. You're going to see the trunk. I'm telling you, it's 20 years younger than this one. Same tree. If you look at it, it's in the same space for lighting, growing in the same soil. That has the skin. This doesn't. See this Katsura tree here now that's in fall color and losing its leaves? Guess its age. It's 9 years old.
Wow, I was going to say 15.
I'm just telling you, as a gardener doing this for 60 years, what I'm seeing here is blowing my mind.
Wow.
This is not like slightly different, this is like screaming loud, huge, like whoa. And what's really getting my attention, I'm not doing anything. I'm not out there, you know, feeding it and foliar feeding all this stuff. It just happens. I have to get out of its way because it's just going to do whatever it's doing in spite of me. I don't know if you realize the time of year it is, but here's something that's interesting. You know, not only do they erase our brains in school, but they lie to us. Everything you're taught in school comes from a basis of lies. Everything. And I'll explain later why. They'll tell you that I've had scientists, I had a whole suburban load of Washington State University people come here to my orchard in October, in January of 1990. Sunset Magazine an article on my orchard. In that October, a whole suburban load of Washington State University professors came to see this orchard because they couldn't believe it. What was interesting, the sequoia trees weren't here then, and all my neighbors' trees, 50 feet off, were completely without leaf and deciduous, gone. All my trees are in full leaf, all color loaded with fruit and saying like, wow. And they're eating this stuff and they're like you, like, man, this tastes good, look at the water. Then one of these guys, scientists, Washington State University professor said, oh no, you're going to destroy your trees with wood chips.
Mom,
I said,
Mama,
what?
there was a
Destroy the trees with wood chips? Oh yes, wood chips type nitrogen to make your soil acidic. And that's what they're taught in school. And so I said, sir, let's get real. I didn't go to school, but I'm not stupid. I'm really not. You see that forest out there? See that forest out there? That principle has been going on for the last 6,000 years of human history. That beautiful dark green, amazingly sustainable environment is maintained on 100% wood products. Needles, leaves, cones, broken branches, broken trees that no one rakes up. And you're telling me that what is working better than you're talking about is going to fail here? And what blew my mind, they couldn't get it. They didn't get it. They're walking off saying it's going to fail. So I had to ask God because it made no sense to me. And he told me, he says, the natural man cannot. You see, the things of God, neither can he know them because they're spirits. These guys are all here. And at this level, you'll never get it. You got to come here. You're going to find all day long today. Everything I'm going to tell you makes no sense here, but man, it works. It happens because it's spiritual. and the Creator's spiritual. Let's walk over to the garden and look at some things, some samples of things. Now as we come up here, I want you to check out this cherry tree. Look at the size of the trunk and the integrity of it. It's 15. That's 35. It's huge. I mean, these are the kind of things that arrest my attention. I mean, I planted this tree 15 years ago. You know, I use a 10-foot ladder to maintain the height because I want to keep getting cherries. But it's just like, it just grows incredible. Does anybody like arugula?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go over there and pick a leaf. When I say a leaf, you'll hold on to it, you don't pull the whole plant up. But I want you to sample things and taste the difference of what you've eaten in the past and what this is. See like arugula? Go pick one. A leaf. Now over here in this garden, you see, see right where that guy's standing. There's spinach under his feet.
Yep, right under him.
And so this is going to be my winter garden, so we don't want to walk in these places.
See those? Look, see that? That's all growing.
I don't know if you notice the size of this kale here compared to yours.
Yeah.
And these beets. Hi, honey. You see the size of these beets?
These are really big beans.
And they're really tender and sweet. See the nice color of that  Now let me tell you something about food. In 10 minutes, not 10 hours, but listen to me, in 10 minutes, after fruits and vegetables are picked, they lose up to 80% of their metabolic properties. Did you hear me? 10 minutes. Let me give you a demonstration. I want you to pass these around and smell them.
Oh, look at that.
Just run it by your nose. And then I want you to remind yourself the last time you bought carrots in the store that were organic, they had no odor. Here's what I'm trying to get your attention. Something is not there anymore. Something's been lost. It's that 10-minute factor. After you send those around and smell them, wipe them off on the grass and eat them and just see how good they are. And I want you to all you gardeners, to notice how thick these carrots are growing together. And you see I don't thin? Because the ground is so soft, they move themselves out of each other. Who wanted carrots? Now the tops over the fence for the sheep, you can take it on the grass and wipe them off because that's not even dirt on them, it's just compost. Anybody else want a carrot?
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I want a carrot.
Please.
Please have a carrot.
There you go, buddy. We'll pass them around.
Nathan, pass them out.
Now I want everybody to notice this. This is huge. All you gardeners, come up here. You gardeners who grow garden, you know that when you pull carrots and food out of your garden, your nicely tilled, fertilized garden, when you're done, the ground is hard and compacted. Everybody hearing me? You see how I pulled those out? Look at that ground. Totally soft, not compacted, and I can plant immediately. Because the ground wasn't stressed and it doesn't need any preparation. Are you getting the significance of the skin? This is huge. Look at that. Like nothing was there. Totally soft. And look how damp. I don't water.
And it's not even a thick covering.
It's not. It's because there's the grass. It's not much. It doesn't take much. I'm just telling you, it's so significant and so powerful. It blows your mind when you realize we relied to so much. Like zucchini? No. That's nice. This zucchini is an heirloom from Italy, and it's really good. We're going to eat a raw one right now.
Dog knows where to find one.
Oh my God.
Somebody break this up and pass it around and eat it. You're going to be surprised how good and tender a zucchini is. And that flour is really good too. Here, let's have some cucumbers.
All right.
We have a whole bunch right here.
Just go ahead and pick them, hand them out. Thank you. Eat the skin and all because the skin is where most of the minerals are. Let's pick all of them. And I want you all to notice the water level in everything you're eating. Are you noticing this more than you've ever seen before? In everything. Huge water level. And that's the design of the creative guy.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
See, when you're eating this food, as you chew it, all the water is coming into that food you're eating. And so that food becomes bioavailable. It takes very little digestion to get to your cells. Conversely, when you're drinking water from your meals, the water dilutes the whole digestive process and you get nothing out of your food. It's so pathetic and it's so crazy how we live. And we think this is cool. We got water bottles and we can drink with our meals. This is great. It's so counterproductive. And because we went to school and they erased our brains, you guys with water bottles, you're going to find out as you're eating this stuff, you won't ever open those things. You're going to be so hydrated, feeling so good, you're thinking like, I don't need water. I'm fine because this is the design. This is how it was made. This is the natural order. And how we're living today is totally out of whack. Let's walk over here. I'm going to show you some root development, because that's why these things have water. You see, people don't, you can't see roots because you don't see them, you don't think about them. But today, farmers are watering as much as they ever have, and no water is going in the food. And it's because there's no roots. That's what it's all about. A root system. If you have no roots, I don't care how much you water, the plant can't take it up. Conversely, if you have roots like you're going to see over here, it can't help you because it's just so huge.
Is this fennel?
No, that's asparagus. Let's talk about asparagus.
Oh, asparagus.
Asparagus. Here's the thing that I'm starting to get. I'm sorry it took me so long, but I'm realizing that the Creator knows what He's doing, and that food in season is significant. The time food shows up is very significant. You know when asparagus shows up in your garden?
Spring.
Spring, April. What did April follow? A winter when you had no greens. And your body is craving minerals. It's saying, I gotta get greens. And so you're out planting your garden because you want greens. Asparagus just pops out of the ground and will feed you until your greens come in. Ever notice when you eat asparagus and you go to the bathroom and urinate, that powerful mineral odor that nothing else does? You can't miss it. I mean, it's just like, whoa, well, I had asparagus. I mean, it's powerful. Well, here's why. Asparagus sends roots in the ground 15 feet, not 15 inches, 15 feet. And they're pulling up mineral content that no other produce comes close to. You know when asparagus shows up? At the time of the year, you're the most mineral deficient. You think that's an accident, a coincidence? I'm just telling you, this Creator really is good. He's genius and He knows what He's doing. Everyone ate tomatoes that were growing outside in full sun.
Wow.
They examined a tomato and they found 300 phytochemicals in a sun-ripened tomato. 300 phytochemicals.
Wow.
And they explain how they work. You look at a tomato skin. It's no thicker than yours. It's very thin. That tomato takes direct sunlight all day long, blazing on it, and it stays totally smooth, gorgeous, no bumps, no blisters, just like beautiful. You wish you had skin looking that good. Here's why. There's a phytochemical in the tomato that protects the skin from blistering. Today, all tomatoes are grown in greenhouses. Today, skin cancer is rampant. Connect the dots. Now, when does tomatoes get ripe? When do they get ripe?
Summer.
August, September, when the sun's the hottest. You think that's a coincidence, an accident? You know what's so bizarre about us affluent people? Tomatoes is a nightshade. You shouldn't eat it all year long. It's not good for you all the time. We, with our affluent finances, we're buying tomatoes in January where there's no sun, they have absolutely no flavor, and they're gross, and we're eating them thinking we're doing ourselves some good. I'm telling you, man, we're crazy. We're totally crazy and not getting it. Can I tell you something? Initially, you were created as intelligent beings. Really. That's how you're created. And you were given taste buds for a reason. Taste buds were there to guide you on how to eat. And if something doesn't taste good, an intelligent mind says, don't eat that. It's not good. But in our culture, with all of our education, we take funky, lousy food and put sauces, seasonings, dressings, and eat that stuff thinking this is okay. I'm just telling you, I want you to get where we've come and the consequences, and that doesn't work. It's not right. Food should taste good. This stuff you're eating out here, you're not using any sauces, you're not using anything on it, and you're eating it. You wouldn't if it wasn't good. I'm just telling you, we got to get it. We're supposed to be eating healthy live food that satisfies and tastes good. And my sense is, the flavor of the food indicates its nutritional value. If food tastes good, it is good. If it doesn't, it's not. Very simple. And can you see how our educational process has erased our brains so we're not thinking? Because everything I'm telling you is very simple. This is not rocket science. This is not like you got to sweat. It's duh. You know, like really duh. Simple. And we don't get it. Because our brains are erased.
So Paul,
yeah.
on the crowns, where do you buy those from?
The best, I'm so glad you asked. The best place to get crowns and the best place to get seed are two companies. The first is Fedco, that's where these crowns come from.
Fedco?
Fedco.
F-E-D-C-O?
F-E-D-C-O. And let me tell you about asparagus. Anybody knows about asparagus? If you plant asparagus, how soon do you get it?
3 years.
How many?
3.
3.
Is what they say.
I bought crowns from Fedco, Purple Passion, which is the most sweet, delicious thing. And what I did, I'm doing all the things they say you can't. I planted it under my apple trees in full shade. You're going to see it out there. You're going to see the ferns. I planted that stuff in April, and in June I'm eating the size of my finger. I could not believe how big they were the first year. I'm just telling you, man, it's huge. The other Fedco. The other company is Sand Hill Preservation Center. What I want to say about seeds, I want y'all to listen to me. It used to be we had wonderful seed companies in the United States. Burpees, Jungs, Johnny's, really awesome, wonderful seed companies. Those companies now are under the control of Monsanto. Totally. Totally.
Territorial seed too?
Territorial. Let me tell you about Territorial. Have you ever used them?
Yes.
You notice in your garden when you plant Territorial seeds, you have major gaps in between the seeds you planted. Because Territorial has the poorest pollination of any seed I've ever encountered. I'm just telling you, pay attention. I used to use Jungs, because my grandmother did. Every seed came up. Someone told me, Territorial, I bought them and I had all these huge gaps. I'm thinking, what? Up with this? It's called germination quality. And they are the worst, bar none.
Those are two names, Fedco and...
Fedco and Sand Hill Preservation Center. These are, now Sand Hill Preservation Center has all heirloom seed. They're all heirloom. Heirloom basically are the seeds that God talked about in Genesis, that plants that bear seed after their own kind. That's significant because hybrid seeds and genetically modified organisms do not bear seed after their own kind. Now you want to get the significance of that? The Creator is so generous and so kind that He designed His food so that with semi-diligence, once you have food for the rest of your life, you'll have free food because it produces seed after its own kind. The whole idea of hybrid genetically modified is to rip you off and control you and make you have to buy for them because it will not produce seed after they have you under their control. This is diabolic. This is not science. This is diabolic. Let's get real. We got to pay attention to what's going on. This is not, we say, oh, genetically modified organisms are scientific. No, they're not. They're an affront against God. Genetically modified organisms are uncreating what God created. They're uncreating it. I'm telling you, man, it's diabolic. It's not science.
So the best time to get the asparagus crowns is when?
In spring, if you order the catalog, you'll get it, and they'll send it in April. And I'm telling you, that Purple Passion is the most tender. I have people coming here in the spring, and I always do my Bill Gates speech to them because people are shocked when they eat my asparagus. I pull up asparagus, break it off the ground, I hold it up, and water drips out of it. And I give them the stem in, and I start here, and people are blown away. He can tell you how
Yes, I agree.
sweet and tender and soft it is. They're shocked. And I said, who'd ever cook this? You know, and so I share this as these multi-billionaires like Bill Gates and all these other people that have all this money never in their entire lives eat asparagus this good. Because even if someone grew it that good, which would be hard to find, by the time it would get to them, it'd be dehydrated and wilted.
So did you eat it 3 years later? Or you ate it that
I ate it
first year?
that June. We're talking 3 months.
Okay.
I was blown away. The crowns are beautiful, just huge. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I planted it under my trees in full shade where I should.
This isn't this year's right here.
Well, this has been here for many years. But what's awesome about, look how beautiful it is. Now, asparagus is something, the first thing because this will feed you your entire life. Let me tell you the power of it. I have this row and one up in another garden, you'll see. I have these 2 rows. Every other day from April to the end of June, I get a 4-quart pot full.
Wow.
Every other day.
Wow.
It is huge. And about June, I'm getting tired of it, man, because you know, so I eat nothing in my garden. But what I love about it is the abundance.
Yeah.
And it is perennial. It'll feed you your entire life. Let me warn you, plant it on borders. Because see, this fern has to be here all summer because that feeds the crown. And so it'll be in your way in your garden. So put it on edges, on borders. It's very attractive, very nice to look at, but you don't want it in the middle of your garden because it'll take up space.
What is that? Okay.
Asparagus.
Oh, that's an asparagus?
Those ferns.
Come look closer.
Now, those of you who are growing asparagus, be honest. Does yours look like that now?
Mine's just this year, but we didn't get any the first year.
No, but the color of the foliage and the size, do they look like that now?
Well, they're tiny.
Okay. I mean, these are beautiful, and this has been all summer, no rain. 15 feet of roots is pretty significant.
Yeah.
Let's walk over here and I want to. Does anybody grow potatoes? I'm gonna show you something right now that's gonna blow your mind. on potatoes. Everybody grows potatoes. They're a lot of hard work. People who do it commercially, they till very deep and they plant deep. And as a potato grows, they have to hill dirt over it because it surfaces and will turn green if you don't cover it. And then they have to water a lot because potatoes take a lot of water. I planted these potatoes under my apple tree. I've never hilled because the wood chips lift. I never water because I don't need to. And I'm going to show you right now how I'm going to harvest and plant in the same space in less than 5 minutes. You're going to blow your mind. I'm just telling you, man, all this stuff they tell us is insanity. Hard work and doesn't work. This is asparagus. And that's asparagus I planted last year in April. Under my tree, afternoon sun's all gone because of the barn, so I'm doing everything they say this will be the worst thing to do, and it's thriving. If you look at my apple tree here, you know the roots are out here, and you see around the apple tree, all those dead plants, those are potatoes that I planted under my apple tree in the root zone of the apple. Something you would never, ever do. Let's see how well they're growing. Now, if you notice, I have no tool. I'm getting on my knees. It's right where you're standing there.
You're going right there.
I'm getting on my knees, and because it's very comfortable here, I'm not, and let's see, here's one right here. So I pull up that plant with my hands. I'm moving aside the wood chips, and I find these nice, clean potatoes. They weren't grown in dirt. They're not dirty. If you notice the ground, you see how damp it is. It has not been watered all summer. I'm moving it with my hands. You know how you do. You use a fork, and you poke holes in your potatoes. And so I've got them all. So look, I got a hole dug. Now watch this. I take my very biggest potato, put back in the hole, and I just plant it for next year. Did you see that? Could it get easier? And it almost looks like I'm having fun.
Like this. There. No.
Now somebody here wants you to take these potatoes home because I don't want them. And they're really good. I have plenty.
Oh, so that's how he knows what's under there?
Oh,
there's a dead.
Yeah.
Another one there.
So you can see it. There's here.
Hey guys,
there.
watch him. Look at this. Potatoes are all coming out of the ground.
Look at this little potato.
Now you kids, doesn't this look like fun? Look at me.
He gets to play in the dirt all day.
Now,
There's a big one.
now you know why I plant the biggest one back?
Right there is a big one.
Okay. You know why I plant the biggest one back? You know better. You were taught in school to cut them in pieces. You know why I put the biggest one back? Check in with the Creator. When the Israelites came to the Promised Land, He told them, if you give me the first fruits, the biggest and best, I'll bless your garden. The same is true in agriculture. If you plant your biggest back, you get a higher return. And here's why. See, at each eye, a shoot comes out. Are you following me? As it grows, it feeds on the potato. So the larger the potato, the more shoots and more food to eat, you get more production. How stupid. The little ones taste the same as the big. Plant your biggest back. I mean, come on, invest in your future. Now, was that work? Was that hard? And I'm done. This is a whole process of planting and maintaining potatoes for the whole year. Are you getting it? The simplicity and ease? I love that word. Jesus says, come unto me all you who labor and heavy laden, I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and come learn of me. My yoke is easy. My burden is like, look at my hands, they're not even dirty. I'm just telling you, man, this is so easy. And potatoes is probably the finest survival food that is. They'll feed you the whole year, require no refrigeration, and they're really good for you. And so easy to grow. Yes?
I got one.
You got one? Let's keep the dirt off and eat it. I'm sorry.
I want to eat it.
Yeah, take it. These are really good.
How do you know when the apples are ripe then?
The apples are ripe.
Yes, Paul.
The apples are ripe
Oh, big one.
usually when they fall off.
Okay.
Like these are bright red ones behind you here. Look all pretty.
These ones right here, I want people to come and smell them. The aroma will blow you away.
But if
This is a Connie from Japan. And it's the most aromatic apple. You put one of these in your house, your whole house fills with aroma. It's just awesome. You're going to find, and I want you to sample, you're going to find that every apple you eat here has a unique flavor, different from anything else, and nothing you've ever had of before, ever.
But I have a question. So you said that it loses a lot of its mineral content pretty much 10 minutes after. So if you're picking them off the ground, you're losing that
Apples,
time period.
I'm talking vegetables.
Okay.
Apples have a good shelf life.
Okay.
But we're talking vegetables.
Okay.
You know, and again, my Honeycrisp store for the whole year. They actually store for 12 months. And that one fell. So someone pick it up and eat it and talk to us. Be descriptive.
Here, taste it. This is just potato out of the ground. It's good.
Crisp.
A little tart, but was sweet.
What's the water content like?
Yeah, it's juicy. Very.
A lot of moisture.
Yeah. And I want you to hear me. These trees have not been watered for 35 years. Ever. Ever.
You already got
Let me show you why. Everybody, if you can come out here to the front, because my demonstration is right here. I want you all to see it.
How old is this one?
This is the second year.
Oh my.
What? That one over there. That Liberty tree right there. The first year I planted it, I took 30 apples off of it because the branches were going to break. 30 apples I took off of it the first year.
Now, people always ask me how you get your trees to look like that.
It's the way of the fruit. You see how
this
this is
is
already bending over?
I know, it's awesome.
Because they're so heavy. And you know, these trees look kind of funny, but I never use a ladder. I can reach everything.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Well, look at this mootsie right here. Is this looking like a Japanese bonsai to you? Check this thing out.
Yes.
And look at the size. This thing has over 120 pounds of fruit every year. Look at the size of those things. I can't get the branches off the ground. I mean, it's just, you know, and look, it's a big, thick tree. It's, you know, 20 years old.
Paul, what are the spots on the trunk of this one here?
Those are, some poor woodpecker thought he'd get something for dinner. And he worked really hard. Look at all those holes.
Wow.
He got nothing. You know what's interesting? I had a farmer came here 2 weeks ago. It was incredible. This old man, he's like in his 70s from Italy. And this guy, you could look at him and tell, man, this guy's been farming his whole life. This is a veteran farmer. He's in my face the whole tour questioning everything I'm saying because he knows better. He knows better. This won't work. What I'm doing won't work. He worked hard. And this blew his mind. This is where he totally shifted. Let me show you something interesting. These trees all here are dwarf trees. Dwarf trees. You know how they create dwarf trees? Anybody know? They take a cultivar, like say, for instance, like a Coney apple you want, and they graft into a rootstock that doesn't develop roots. And because you have a small root system, the tree stays dwarf, stays small. Make sense? No roots, not going to get big. You see this plum tree right there? That's a plum. That's an 8-year-old dwarf plum. You see this root sucker right here?
Oh boy.
You see the foliage of this? You see the foliage of that? This is 30-foot radius, not diameter, radius from that trunk. In 8 years, a dwarf tree is producing 30 feet of root development.
Wow.
It is wow. It's like, whoa. You know, and this guy, you see this farmer, he's flipping out because he was so blown away, he couldn't believe me. So he broke a piece off and walked 30 foot over it and lined it up and stood there and just shook his head. He says, I can't believe it. In my experience, and they tell you in school, the roots go no further than the drip line. As far as the branches go out, that's as far as the roots go out. Drip line. 8 years, 30 feet of growth. And see, this is why I don't ever have to water my trees. Connect the dots. When you have a root system this magnanimous and this big, you can see right next to that guy standing, see those are the same ones. See right there? That's the same root system over there. It permeates this whole space. And because it has such a huge root system, it doesn't need a lot of water.
Yeah. So are you just going to let these grow?
No, I'm going to pull them up, but I have them here just as a demonstration. for people to see. I'll pull them all up. Because this is a rootstock, it's not that tree, so even if you want it, it's not the same tree because it's a rootstock.
Yeah.
But I want you to see the significance of the skin on the earth, how it develops. You know what I think about God? I think He's kind of let us laugh. Oh, you're going to make it dwarf? Good luck. You're not going to stop me. I'm not going to be stopped. I'm going to be awesome because that's just who I am. You can't dwarf me. It's so cool. A guy came here last summer, a scientist, a scientist. And he's seeing all this, and he has a really hard time wrapping his brain because he knows better. Are you following me? He knows better. What I'm saying can't work. And this guy, he lives in Chelan, and he has a huge community garden, and he grows those big pumpkins, those 125 pumpkins. That's what he does. And so I just told him, I says, listen, I see you're having problems. Just be an honest scientist. Scientists, when they find something new, they do a test, and they call, this is a standard, and this is a test, and they compare. So own your place, do what you've always done, take a small section and put wood chips around your pumpkin plants and just watch what happens. So the guy calls me in August, says, I had to call you today. He says, where we live in Chelan, it's really hot, and by 11 o'clock every day, all my pumpkins are totally wilted. He says, I water all day long. The ground is totally saturated. But at 11 o'clock, because of the heat, they're wilted. He says, what's blowing my mind, he used that term, the ones I planted in wood chips, I'm not watering, and they never wilt. And I says, well, get it. They have roots. You see, no matter how much water you're using, the plant can't take it up because there's no roots. But when you have root system like this, you don't need a lot of water. It can take up because it has this magnanimous capacity to draw out. And it's so significant. It's so like, yeah. See why everything, look at those fir trees out there. It's been a hot, dry summer. Look how green they are. No one waters those. They're not being watered. And they have shallow roots. But there is a skin on the earth. Let me share with you the significance of the skin. Does anybody know about mycelium? The funguses in the soil under wood chips? Mycelium is a fungus that literally will grow attached for miles. It spreads out for not feet, miles. And see, as plants connect to that mycelium, they have access to that nutrition and that life spread out for miles. I'm telling you, man, the Creator is genius in His design. You know what's so scary about us? As soon as you till the soil, all that mycelium is killed and gone. You just wiped out that amazing, huge resource and revenue with simple cultivation.
How long does it take to regrow once you put the chips on?
What amazes me is how quickly the Creator restores. And it's all about repentance and His nature is to restore. You just can't wait. He really wants to, but you gotta come His way. And you see, as soon as you put wood chips on the ground, as soon as it rains you water, compost is released, and immediately you'll see a change in the foliage of your plants. They get greener. This happens immediately because and over time it just gets better. It's like compounding interest. Better and better. And the beauty is that you're not doing anything. It's not about you. Where these farmers they're working, they're toiling, they're tilling, and they're putting all this expensive stuff back, and they're going backwards. Well, I don't do anything. Can I get this? I'm just telling you, man. It blows. Look at the look. This is end of September. Look at the color of the foliage of these trees. This is impossible. They shouldn't look like this. They're not turning fall color. They're not acting like we're done. I'm telling you, man. I'm watching this and thinking, like, wait a minute. Look at that amazing weed right here. You see this weed growing? I didn't plant that. Some bird dropped that. I don't know what it is. But that grew into a space where it has had no water, and it's that dark green flowering, looking like you're caring for me. I'm just telling you, man, these things arrest my attention. I didn't plant that. A bird dropped that on totally dry wood chips. With no water, it looks like that? I'm telling you, man.
How often do you put down new wood chips?
That space up there, it's been 14 years since I put wood chips. 14 years ago. And again, let me tell you about the lies they tell you in school. Everybody who knows who's been in school will tell you, you don't put wood chips up against tree trunks. You don't do that. How stupid. How utterly stupid. Could you imagine, I put wood chips 16 inches deep 14 years ago. 16 inches. 16 inches. Can you imagine the intense labor to get little spaces around my trunks without wood chips? And garbage and stuff would fall. What a nightmare. All of you have been in the woods in the winter. All of you. And you've noticed when the wind blows, needles and leaves bank up against tree trunks a foot, foot and a half deep. No one pulls that away. The trees are fine. And you're pulling them away from your trees, you can't do this? What happened to us? First of all, I don't know where they got the stupid lie and why they're doing it, except that they're just trying to mess up our lives. But it makes no sense. I'm telling you, the stupid things we perpetuate and say and do for no reason when they're totally brain dead. So here's the thing that's powerful about the wood chips. This just shows you the nature of the Father. His economics are so cool. You see this pasture out here with the sheep in it? This is an 1.25 acre pasture. 1.25 acre, yeah, pull up the sheep and watch them enjoy that. They'll love it. 1.25 acres will support 5 sheep. That's what the books say, the scientific books. 5 sheep. It takes 1.25 acres. It's all they can. It's all that you can raise on it. 2 years ago, a farmer brought 53 adult sheep onto my 1.25 acre pasture in June. And this 1.25 acres doesn't get fertilizer or water, nothing. It's just on its own. 53 on 1.25 acres. He brought them here because on his 25 acres, they'd eaten the grass down to the ground, and he wanted to get it back, so he wanted to reseed and water and fertilize and get his grass back. He says, I'll probably have them there for a month. They'll have your grass down, but it'll give me time to reseed and get mine up. He didn't take them out till October, and they never got the grass down. What really blew his mind, he called me to tell me, he's a good shepherd, he cared about his sheep, so he's coming out every week to see how they're doing. He decided to call you. Every time I come to your place, my sheep are laying down. I have been raising sheep for 30 years, and I have never seen my sheep in the day lay down. They're on their feet all day long eating, and at night they lay down. And immediately the Holy Spirit gave me Psalm 23. He lays them down in green pastures. I says, the reason your sheep are laying down is because they're satisfied. They're satisfied. They have mineral-rich grass. They don't need to eat as much. That's why 53 on 1.25 acres can't get it down, and they're laying down because they're satisfied. On your place, with chemical fertilizers, they're never satisfied. There's no minerals in the grass. And they're totally hungry all day long because they're never satisfied. I'm just loving these things I'm seeing. And so when I came here 35 years ago, we had this barns here because my kids had horses. You could walk through this pasture. Grass is 4 feet tall with no resistance because it was so thin. Today, if you walk through there, it'll trip you because it's so thick. And here's what's happened. I didn't make that happen. I didn't do it. If you look, I'm on a grade. There's a slight slope here. Underneath this soil, 6 inches, is blue clay. Are you hearing me? Blue clay. Well, nothing penetrates blue clay. So when all this mineral-rich compost tea hits blue clay, you know where it goes? Gravity sends it down there. And so for all these years, this has been gravity-fed from this, and all that's happening at that level. And you know what I love about God? Now let's start doing the math here. Here, this is all free. Everything about God is free and sets free, and so everything in nature is free. This free material is feeding all of these trees, all this produce, and has enough excess to do that entire pasture, and I put nothing here for 14 years. Connect the dots, do the math. This is huge. I mean, really huge. Huge. And it costs me nothing up front. This stuff's free. Are you getting why science and the human race won't attach to this? There's no money in it. You can't make anything. I'm serious. The whole motive of all agriculture, all of science, all allopathic medicine is all about money. Bar none. Across the street is a really cool guy. He's a medical doctor. And he's honest. He says allopathic medicine was never designed to bring healing. It was created to maintain disease. Because you can't make money on healing. If people get well, you never come back. And so allopathic medicine keeps you sick and has you coming back to maintain your illness. You know what's so cool about him? Women bring their kids to him that have asthma, bronchitis. He just tells them, get them off wheat and dairy. They'll be fine. And so they say, well, you're not going to give us a prescription. I just gave you one. You got a prescription. Get them off of wheat. And they come back in a few weeks, the kids totally well. They're shocked. Simple adjusting their lifestyle, not eating dead, corrupted food, you get well. Dairy is corrupted. All animals are fed antibiotics. You know why everybody's sick today? Why your immune system doesn't work? Why you have no gut flora? Why you have this? All the dairy products you're eating have antibiotics, and that's taking out your whole gut flora, destroying all your good bacteria in your gut. I'm just telling you, man, what they're doing to us is criminal. And we keep buying this trash and eating it and staying sick and don't know why. Wheat is no longer wheat. Remember our anthem in this country? Amber waves of grain. Wheat used to grow 4 and 5 feet tall. Today it's a foot tall. It's been genetically modified. And it's not the same. When I was a kid, when the older people, you never heard of gluten. The word did not exist. Because it wasn't in wheat. It wasn't there. Today, it's in all this nasty stuff they're making. We're all sick and we wonder why. Well, it's been altered. It's been changed. For convenience and for money and to maintain your illness.
I like what you told me about kale, how it goes into your tissue and actually heals.
Kale is the most, antioxidants. Everybody know antioxidants are in fruits and vegetables. They'll take out free radicals that cause cancer. Free radicals cause cancer. And antioxidants will take them out. That's how the Creator made it. But once the free radical penetrates the cell wall, gets inside the cell, antioxidants can't get it because they can't break the cell wall. But kale, this amazing food God created, the phytochemicals in kale literally go into the cell and eat out, consume the free radical. I'm just telling you, it's awesome. It's awesome. And when we talk about kale, let me share with you the stupid lie you got in school. Remember they taught you in school there's 4 basic food groups? Everybody nod your head. You've heard that before? How stupid. You know, the Creator in the first chapter of the owner's manual, and he prefaces it, and God said, vegetables and fruits and their seeds is what I've given to your food. He says there's 2 food groups. 2 food groups. You know what's so interesting about how they erased our brains? Track with me. The animals that are producing the protein that you think you're getting never eat meat. And they're bigger, have more muscle mass, a lot stronger, have much bigger bones. They're eating no milk. How do they maintain that structure? How do they maintain that incredible power? Grass and water. Grass and water. Excuse me? You'll know the answer up front, but I'm just going to give it to you. Which has the most protein? Bison, buffalo meat, or kale? 50% more is in the kale. 50% more. And what's interesting is a protein in the bison is not bioavailable because you can't digest that stuff. Let's talk about meat. Initially, the Creator never had anything eating meat. That came after the flood when there's nothing else growing, so you had to. And the next 1,000 years, when He shows up, even the lion will lie down with the lamb, so nothing's, even predators aren't eating it because it's never by design. Let's be real about meat. What is meat? Define it. It's a dead carcass. Really, it's a dead carcass. And then to make it so you can chew it, they hang it for a period of time so it rots and becomes tender to eat. Then after you eat the dead rotten carcass, what do? You sit down and rest because you're really tired. Because all the blood is gone to digestion to try to break down this dead rotten carcass, which is really hard to do. Then when you defecate, it comes out black and hard and stinks. I mean, excuse me? This just doesn't sound good.
Sounds like you're a vegetarian.
I eat meat occasionally. I go to someone's house and they have it. I eat it and give thanks for it. And on Passover, I eat lamb, but I never buy it. I will never eat it. I'll never get it myself because it's not good. We weren't created for it. And there's nothing it has we need. And what amazes me, I tell you gotta get B12. You won't get B12 for anything but meat. I'm a veteran. I can't walk because of Vietnam. And so the veteran, they make me go to the Veterans Hospital and get my stupid physical every year. And I'm not going to go anymore, it's just a waste of time. And they do blood work. And the first question they ask you when they do blood work is, what drugs are you taking? Everybody track with me? So I get them angry and I says, I'm not drug deficient. I don't take drugs. So that kind of gets them, going. And they say, what vitamins are you taking? I don't take vitamins, I eat live food. Vitamins originally came in food. And all the stuff you're selling as vitamins aren't vitamins, it's a synthetic garbage copy, but they're not vitamins. And so they're really angry now. And so looking at my blood work, and they keep coming back and says, excuse me, you said you're not taking vitamins? I don't take vitamins. Well, your blood level is over the top, and your B12 is there. And they're shocked at the results. And I says, it just shows you don't have a brain. Everything in nature, every animal, every living being except us is really healthy, in good shape because they eat food fresh in season. I eat food fresh in season. Duh. This is not rocket science, and it shouldn't surprise you. My blood's good. You know, at 65, my blood pressure is 117/70. You know, I never get sick. I never get sick. I'm not tired. I'm thinking like, this is how it's supposed to be. This whole idea of getting old and decrepit is unnatural. Can I give you the word? The word says, as your days, so shall your strength be. You should be as strong when you check out as you when you came in. Look at the examples in Scripture. Here, old Moses, 120 years old, 120. His eyes were like an eagle. Could see everything. Total strength. Good old Joshua and Caleb had to wait 40 years for those unbelievers to die off, and at 80 years old, give me that mountain, I'm ready for it. They were totally powerful at 80 years old. Not tired. They're ready to start a new life. I'm just telling you, how we're living and what we're experiencing is not normal. It's not natural. It's a complete ripoff from a diabolical system that's lied to us, what we believe. And I'm just telling you, it can all change. You can start eating live food and bring it all back. It's powerful. I've done it. When I was 40 years old and buying stuff in the store, I was in severe pain. My back and legs just ached all the time. And when you're in pain, you're dragged to be around because you're uptight. You're just mad. It hurts. And you reflect that. And I'm taking naps on my way home my truck from work because I'm tired. Thank God he has the guardian angels to watch out for me because I'm dropping off. I'm sleeping, you know. Wow. And my wife got this book that I read that really arrested my attention. The title was Alkalize or Die. Guy's direct. And so I read it, and he made this statement that really got my attention. He says, all disease comes from an acid condition in your body. So I told my wife, I says, you know what, I can test that. That's an incredible statement, man, and if it's true, I'm going there. So I came home and I ate nothing except what I grew in my garden season. I have been pain-free for 24 years. Totally pain-free. And I love it. It's just awesome. And I'm kind of sensing this is how it's supposed to be. The Creator's a good Creator. His essence is love. He didn't make us to live in pain. That's not by design. It's not by design. It's from an acid condition. If you do the math and look at stuff, all processed foods are acid. All of them. Come on, man. Connect the dots. When you're eating this stuff, this alkalizing food, you just can't get sick. It's impossible. It's impossible to get sick if you eat this kind of food. It can't happen. You mean around people sneezing and coughing, all the flus, just hang out with them. I'm not going to get you because your immune system works. And see the fallacy of the whole allopathic medicine is they believe Pasteur's lie. Pasteur said that disease comes from pathogens and bugs. That's a lie. So when you have an operative immune system, pathogens and bugs are no threat to your body. Your immune system handles them. They're no problem. It just shuts them down, kills them. Because that's how it works. And so the whole mentality is to take out pathogens and bugs instead of maintaining the immune system. And it's backwards. It's totally backwards, and it's expensive. And what amazes me is intelligent beings. Ever bought a prescription drug and ever looked at the package insert? You got one line of the benefits, paragraphs of side effects, ranging from nausea to dizziness to blindness to death. And people are buying this stuff? I mean, what happened to our brains? I mean, whatever you have doesn't approach blindness and death. And you're buying this stupid thing to get over this other thing? You know what's so pathetic about all the allopathic drugs? Everything they have in allopathic synthetic drugs was created in nature by God as herbs, as living material. They couldn't sell, and so they synthesize it so they can sell to you. Read the word. What does the word say? He created leaves for the healing of the nations. God created all these living organisms, all these amazing plants, these herbs, for total healing of the human body. And none are toxic, none have side effects, and they're all free. Are you starting to connect the dots and realize what's going on? This is significant. We've got to get it. We have an adversary, and he doesn't like us. And we've got to pay attention. Let's walk over here and look at some more things.
What about like grains?
Grain? If you go to Europe and buy wheat, my wife travels the world.
I mean like beans.
Beans are great. They haven't modified those. As long as something's as it was created, it's great.
Lentils. And
Those are wonderful protein items. They're so good for us. Very good.
Do you drink coffee?
No, coffee's a poison.
That's sad to hear.
You see, because I eat well and I get plenty of sleep, I don't need caffeine.
Stop drinking.
caffeine is just, you know, I make kombucha, which has every B vitamin. When I drink it, I'm just like awake. But what's amazing, I can go right to sleep because it's not a drug. It's B vitamins. If you haven't had pears yet, there's a lot right here, and they're good.
Found some on the ground. They're delicious.
You see this little boy here? He's enjoying it. I love these kids, man. They get it.
Hey,
Yes.
can I please have them?
You see that pear over there? Get that yellow one. It's probably pretty ripe. Right over there. See over there? Walk over there and get that pear. Pick it up and eat it. Right there. Straight ahead. Keep going.
Oh, he's saying one of these ones, but I think they got some black spots.
Okay, then get this green one right here.
We had this one that he had just eaten. We were working on it. No?
Where's the one? Which one?
He was saying this one, but look.
You can get that one right there. Or look.
That orange one? No! Ooh, this one?
That's fine. Yeah. The brown spot is just where a bird bit into it. Just eat around it.
You can eat on
It
the
won't
other
hurt
side,
you.
he's saying.
See, we're so cosmetic oriented in this society. Can I tell you something about our cosmetic orientation? It's so stupid.
No.
I read an article here several years ago. It really arrested my attention. In Japan, the consumer goes to the store and pays 1/3 to 50% more for vegetables with bug bites. Did you hear me? 50% more for and their mentality is the other stuff is so poisonous the bug won't eat it. And they're right. A bug bite isn't toxic. And he's just saying this is safe to eat. That stuff you buy in the store that's totally clean, untouched, is poisonous and nothing in nature will touch it. They know better. Don't mix them up. You might not like that.
What happened?
Just try them.
She likes the fruit too.
What happened?
Let me take you over here and show you my cabbage that I'm growing in my orchard with no irrigation.
Hey, I
And then you're gonna pick up one and see how heavy it is. See this nice cabbage over here? Look where it's growing. It's growing in my orchard under my trees. And it's never been watered the whole year. Can I tell you something? Everybody listen to me real clearly. The reason we have large farms in the United States is because they're producing so little. Really. They're huge because they're producing so little. You see, in this space where I'm growing all these trees, I'm growing cabbage. Look at the size of that one over there. Better than anything any farmer is growing in this funky stripped soil. And these were never watered the entire summer. We're gonna go pick up one. You're gonna be shocked at the weight. So heavy. See it here? This is a Spartan apple. It's really good. This apple is no longer available because scientists tell you this apple has an inherent weakness that every year the apples get smaller. It's not happening here. I don't know where they're coming from. But you can't buy it anymore. It's a great apple. It gets smaller. I'm just telling you, all the stupid lies they tell us, man. You know what I'm saying? See over there where Phil is? You see all those beautiful cucumbers? Those are pickling cucumbers. And they're just growing in my orchard, unattended, no water, just thriving. So all you have to do is just drop seeds in the ground and walk off. And it goes well. But you laugh, but you know how God plants seeds?
He drops them on the ground and wants
They grow in. And no one does anything, they grow great.
So you don't plant, you just drop them.
I just drop seeds.
You watered them while they were germinating.
In my garden, because there's no cover like this, and when it's dry, this time of year, I have to get them. Once they're up, I stop watering. But just to get them up. Now, I never water until like June, July. Except and then we have rain. See my dog eating that nice pear? I mean, and look at my dog. This dog is 14 years old. Look at the color of her hair, no gray. She has no tumors because she does not eat dog food. My neighbor's dogs, half her age, are grossly overweight. They have major tumors and they're sick. This dog eats nothing but live food in my yard. You know what's so brain dead about us? Until the industrial, you think you got to feed dogs dog food. Everybody hearing me? That's what you think. But until the Industrial Revolution, it was less than 100 years ago, no one fed their dog food. It didn't exist. Dogs ate what they ate. You just fed them what you ate. And they're great. These guys just totally eat out of my garden all day long. They eat apples, pears. You know what's interesting about dogs? Can I tell you something? When you go to the store, you ought to take your dog. And if your dog won't eat it, don't buy it. You're laughing, but if I buy an apple from Costco and give it to my dog, she won't eat it because she knows it's poisonous. You want to hear something scary? If you go to Sunny Farms and buy their organic carrots, those real small, beautiful carrots, organic carrots, my dog won't eat them. And so I'm flipping out, so I go to Roger, the owner, and I don't know what is Roger talking. My dog pulls carrots out of my garden all day long and eats them, loves them. And she won't enjoy organic carrot. He gets a sad look on his face and says, Paul, they raise them organically, but the producer sprays them for shelf life. You can feel the slime on them. Your dog's picking up on the spray. You see, all of nature except us is connected instinctively to the Creator and knows how to live. It's only us that don't. It's huge. Now, can you do me a favor? This wheelbarrow, could you push it along that fence out to the grass?
Oh, I'd love to.
And then later I'm going to have to run down my chicken things because it's so much easier for you. I don't walk, so that's very helpful. Thank you. And then come on back.
Do you give your chicken grass
Helping you
clippings?
for a second?
Grass clippings, everything from my garden, all my weeds, everything from the house, and all my actions.
I was reading that you're supposed to give them the grass clippings, which, you know, that can get everything mowed.
Why not?
Because they said they'll get, I don't know what it's called, where they get stuck in their gut.
Again, these stupid lies.
Yeah, okay.
Track with me. Someone told her you can't give chickens grass clippings because they'll suck in their guts. Who's ever noticed wild flocks of wild turkeys, which are similar to chickens, geese, pheasants, all living in nature, eating no grain except for some when the grass heads up and they're eating grass all year long? I'm just telling you, see, these are the things that flip me out. The stuff they tell you is utter insanity. There's no demonstration of it. It makes absolutely no sense. And they're experts and people believe it. Look at this man pulling weeds. You see how easily they're coming out?
I can't help it, Paul. It's fun.
You see how easily they come out? You see, you pull weeds in the dirt, they break off. It's just, everything about this is fun. And you see, the Creator made it that way. Thank you. I'm just telling you, man, we got to get it. When things get difficult and hard, it's not by design. It's not by design. Look at that little kid. He's having fun here. Watch it. Get around it. Just pull it right up. That's a dandelion.
My kid can do it.
That's why I used to get the cabbage off. You see, when you pull dandelions, you're pulling and they break off. You see that little kid, man, just out. You want to hear something hilarious? When they film first came out in August 2011, I had people coming here all winter. And I had this organic farmer coming from Ontario, Canada. And he saw, this is February, he saw a carrot in my garden. He said, oh, you can't eat that. I says, what? I eat them all day long. He says, no way, not this time of year. He says, go pull up and eat it. This was so hilarious. That man literally fell over because it came out of the ground so easy. It was a big carrot. He's not ready to yank like at his place. And he fell over because it came out. He ate that thing and was in total shock. He said, I never had anything so sweet and good. I says, well, you're supposed to be good. In the winter, they actually get sweeter because the ground freezes. The sugar content comes up. Let me tell you why everything in people's farms die in the winter. Track with me. At 40 below zero in Canada, nothing in nature ever dies. Are you tracking? Where you live, I don't care where you live right now. You go out in nature, after the end of the winter, there's nothing dead. Everything's alive. Why? Because the skin is an insulator. It insulates the ground and the roots are totally protected. In everybody's farm next to nature, whatever they have during the winter freezes out and dies because there's no covering. The skin's gone. I'm just telling you, man, it's so obvious, so plain if you're just semi-looking, and we don't. And people always ask me, you're eating food all winter? Well, everything in nature is, except the bear. He takes a nap, but everybody else is eating. I mean, it's just so stupid, our thoughts. Everything in nature eats all winter. So do I. Stuff grows. I have great food in my garden all winter. I never have any shortage. It's just crazy. Anyway, let's walk over here and check out some really nice looking kale. Does anybody not like kale?
My husband didn't used to. That's how he tasted yours.
I just want you to know the Creator made everything. And if something doesn't taste good, something's not right. Okay, cool. I don't think I go. She's getting wet. See all the water coming out? What's that like?
Really, really good. Here, take a bite of it.
Any gardeners here growing
Juiciest
leeks?
plum I've ever
I
had.
love leeks.
Here, check mine. Anybody growing leeks? These aren't that big.
No, they're not. Can't pick them from the tree.
Kind of stuck with this. You're good.
What did you film that?
Now look at the color of this kale.
Whoa.
Is this cool looking? I'm telling you, the funky bushes in your yard don't look this good.
Now this is which kind?
This is one I don't know the name. I've got to find out what it is, but I'm gonna collect seed. This is an awesome apple called Honey Crisp. And this apple will store in my cooler for the whole winter, and I won't eat that apple until next spring, next summer.
There's a buggy on it.
It's okay, the bug won't touch it. Now, does someone not care for kale? Kind of like, it's not one of my favorites. Come here. Now, we all know from experience, everybody look at me, we all know that stems are tough, stringy, and usually bitter. You follow me? Everybody connecting? Start at the stem, eat your way back and talk to us, and be very honest. Somebody,
Tastes like tastes exactly like something else.
You had kale for the first time last week.
start the stem.
I always think it tastes like broccoli.
Come on.
Broccoli, yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Broccoli.
Tasty.
But is it tough?
It's like broccoli.
Is it tough?
Not tough.
No,
Is it bitter?
not bitter. Sorry, I'm not being descriptive enough.
Would you eat it again?
There's no aphids on it.
Interesting to me how many
want some.
plants have a peppery taste to them.
But when it's all
including
dried
this
up,
kale.
it's
Here, I'll pass it back.
There's more.
yeah. When it's all
Here,
dried
here.
up, it's
I'll get a bigger piece for you.
Here, pass it back. Coming back.
Here, somebody want a nice. It's gonna be just as tender. That'll feed that. Yes, you may, buddy.
It's so good.
Here you are. You want one?
okay, the leaves are a little bit bitter. I'll take one.
Leaf.
The stem is much better.
Okay. Yeah, I love the stems. The stems are really sweet. I find that usually it's the opposite.
Yeah.
She just cut the stems off all our kale a few days ago.
Check out the rib.
The stems are so.
Hours.
And are you noticing the water content? How much water is in this stuff? The stems are full of water. You know, it's just like this is how it's supposed to be. This is the norm.
Is there any difference in mineral content between this kale and that kale?
I don't know. I haven't analyzed them, but I just love the color of this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna collect seed because this is just such a good looking thing.
Yeah.
But I think they're all, when I eat them, I'm not telling you the difference in my body. So they all feel the same for me.
So I like your Russian kale. I've been putting that in smoothies. It's amazing.
It's good food.
Good stuff.
It's powerful food.
This all came up this year?
Yeah, I planted. All this is planted by seed. This is planted like in March and in May.
And you grow kale all winter.
This will feed me the whole winter. This is what I love about it. When it's freezing outside, there's ice in the ground and there's snow, this is putting on new growth. I tell you what happens in our house. It's so hilarious. My wife has people come over for dinner in January. This happens to everyone who comes. It's so funny. They come for dinner and we always have kale salad because that's what we have. We always try to have live food. And so everybody who comes makes a statement. Carol, we came to your house really hungry, want to eat a dinner. All we had is salad and we're full. She just laughs, says, you're not full, you're satisfied. You just got live food that was picked 10 minutes ago. And your body is saying, thank you. You just fed my cells. Now you can have the rest of the meal, you're not full, but just realize what's going on. And she asked, when's the last time you had live food? Look at her kind of like, what? Live food? They don't even know what that term is. It's not something they even connect to in life because everything they eat out of boxes, cans, dead food. And when you get live food, it's just like I'm full. I'm satisfied because it's what it does. It's just so fun to watch people's responses.
Okay.
Now I want you to notice this zucchini plant over here. Coming up.
Yeah, huge zucchini
This
over
is
there.
zucchini that I planted in my orchard by a seed that has never been watered all summer. And all you gardeners, I want you to pay attention to the color of that foliage.
Yeah.
This has not been watered, absolutely no fertilizer, and it's growing in these wood chips that scientists will tell you ties up nitrogen and make your soils acidic. I mean, I want some help. I need help. I'm looking for a nitrogen tie-up. And I'm just seeing the opposite. I'm telling you, Miracle Grow in 2020 will never make it that green. And you're telling me I got election type? Look where it's growing. Funky, dead wood chips that never got watered. Let's suck a seed in the ground.
No mound either.
What kind of tree is this?
This is a Makani apple.
Is that the smell? I smell such
That's the smell. The aromatic is awesome.
Yeah, I never heard of Akani.
Akani's from Japan.
Oh, okay.
Don't tell Steve.
Just look at how many apples are on it.
I know.
Yeah.
I would. What?
Oh, we're talking about how many apples are on the trees.
Now,
It's like grapes.
now does someone who's eaten apples today want to have an experience that'll blow you away at the character of God? I want you to, if you want to have an apple you've never had before that's just incredibly awesome, that like, whoa, get one of these.
What are they?
This is from Japan. It's one of those TSU names I can't pronounce. But again, what really speaks to me is the character of the creator. Everything he makes is so unique.
Is there any on the ground though?
No, just pick a good red one in there. And just eat that and just talk about the flavor. Something really red, because they're not quite ripe yet, but
This may not be right, but it's the most. Oh, goodness.
it's integrity. It's like you never in a store will find anything comparable.
Wow.
What is that?
It's a Japanese apple that I can't pronounce the name. It's a TSU, one of those weird names.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Isn't that flavor unique? It's like nothing you'll ever find in a store. And what I'm seeing about the creator made things so amazing. Everything's different. Everything has a quality, a dimension, an integrity that other things don't. It's so cool. Isn't that good?
That's so sweet.
And just like nothing you've ever had in a store even comes close. That bland, dead stuff you have is so boring. Where this is like, yeah, that is awesome. I could eat that all day.
I like that.
Now one person is going to have a treat here that's amazing too. This apple is called Sweet 16.
So good.
There's one on the ground, and somebody ought to get it because that also has a characteristic you'll never find anywhere else.
That one?
Right there.
Somebody get it.
You get it, Carol.
I gotta tell you something. Sure, I don't even like apples, so these are good.
You know why you don't like apples? Can I tell you, everybody listen to me, I want to be heard. This lady says, I don't like apples, this is really good. Can I tell you something? She has never had an apple before. All the trash she's eaten were called apples were not apples. They were some messed up, genetically modified, some poor ground growing thing that was not, it was made. The creator never made that stuff he ate before. This is how he made it.
What is this?
That's called Sweet 16. Did you get one?
I gave you a piece.
Okay. Isn't that unique, that Sweet 16?
Yeah.
Good. This is the Sweet 16.
Well, just check out how different. There's nothing you ever had before tastes like that.
No, it tastes like candy.
And it's like way out there, like a dimension. Like, is this an apple? I mean, really? Isn't that unique? This is what I'm so loving about the creator. All these apples have unique qualities, so they're not boring. It's not like another apple. Like, wow. Did you taste that? It's like a whole other realm. You know, you're thinking like, and that's how he made it. He made it to be enjoyable, exciting, like, wow. Everything should be wow. Because that's his nature.
Paul, how many trees do you have in this area?
40-some.
Do you have trouble with bears?
You see these dogs around?
It's good.
If I didn't have those, a deer would just wipe out all my trees. Those dogs keep everything out of here. And they're so much cheaper than fences, and so much more accessible. Fences are a drag. You gotta find the gate to get in. You know, they're an irritant. Dogs are awesome.
So they're out here at night?
You bet they are.
Even that kind of dog, I would have thought you would need a separate, different kind of breed than.
Oh, that lab! I'm telling you, that 14-year-old lab is an alpha.
Oh, okay. And then it keeps the deer in the barrel.
Can I tell you about that dog? My wife, the lady who raised that dog, did him for a living, and she had a baby. My wife was her midwife, and that was the biggest female of the group, and she gave it to Carol as her choice. The guy on Animal Planet had that dog on television and said it was the most perfect example of that breed he'd ever seen. I'll tell you how powerful that dog is. When I had eagles killing my chickens, we're talking eagles, I asked God, how do I deal with this? And he says, put Tova in the chicken pen. She'll stop him. And so I'm, again, arguing with God. I'm telling God, she's a bird dog. You created her to kill birds. And he says, just talk to her. She'll get it. So I says, Tova, come here. I sat her down. She'll sit, well, she's hearing you. I says, Tova, I got an eagle killing my chickens. I need you to go in the chicken pen and protect the chickens. And you have to lay down. You cannot hurt the chickens. You got to lay down. I put her and she's laying down. She just laid down. Chickens are running around. She's not even there. And so I put a stake in the ground with a chainsaw that I should dig out. 3 days into it, I'm out here in my orchard. I hear this incredible barking. I look across and I get perspective from here. On one of those branches of the fir tree is this bald eagle that's bigger than my dog. I get perspective. I can see the dog, I can see the eagle. The eagle's bigger. But that eagle would never come down because that dog stood up to it. And she's an alpha and nothing. I'm telling you, people bring their dogs here and she nails them. She's an alpha. And she's nothing. She's nothing. She'll stop at nothing. And so it's just an amazing, I'm so blessed. Now this little puppy here, she's taking her place because now Tova's getting 14. She doesn't want to run after the deer, she'll bark at him. But this one, man's going after him. And she's got a big dog bark and she's going to be great. Let's walk over here to the garden. When you come across, stay on the path because I got cilantro coming. Let's just step on.
Don't step on the cilantro.
Yeah, come across here. Don't walk in the garden. Walk in the path over here. As you walk by, observe this lettuce. How clean the foliage is. No mud on it because I don't water. See, the advantage of not water is I can pick this, and you can too, and eat it without having to wash it because it's not dirty. If something looks good, pick it because it is really good.
When did you plant this, Paul?
This is very late. It's all going to seed now, but just pick a leaf and just see how delicious. This stuff is really good.
Oh, don't step over there. Don't step over there.
Yeah, don't walk in here because that's cilantro. Right there.
I see it. Uh-huh.
What? I just like people to walk on this side because I want this isn't going to feed me in the wintertime.
Levi, come here. Just stand in the area.
Does anybody not like beets?
Oh, beets are great.
Beets, great.
Anybody does not like beets? Come here. I'm going to have you do an experiment, and I just want you to be very honest. You don't have to. If it's just terrible and you can't stand it, you be honest. But if it's not, you can be that too. I want you to all notice how this beet comes out of the ground, you gardeners. You see how easy that came out? And you see how clean it is? Because it wasn't growing in dirt. You see these beautiful greens? Pass these around and eat these. You're going to be amazed how good this stuff is. Just, yeah, they're really good. You know, again, you don't know. Just take my word for it. They're really good. Yeah, here's a guy who's validating it.
About the nutrients.
What's that?
The nutrients are in the leaves or more in...
They're in everything. They're just different ones.
Where was it? Anybody want to try it? You want to try a bite of that?
It's coming. There's a girl over here that doesn't like beets. This little boy cannot wait. So we're gonna accommodate him. Here you go, buddy. And you can tell me how you like that.
Thank you.
And just be honest. Pass these around. Oops.
That proves it, doesn't it? Dogs eat off the garden.
No, this is for them. Oh, here's
So, Paul, you typically eat to be raw.
It's my lunch.
Anybody else for
Paul? Yes.
You typically eat your beets raw?
Yeah. Well, anybody be eating these? Would you cook these?
I like it.
Do you hear the lady?
Yeah.
This is a lady who does not like beets.
I have a lot of allergies and have a very restricted diet, but this is good.
Are you hearing this?
It tastes like sugar.
Tastes like sugar. And this is an uncooked beet.
Sweet.
Hey, what's up?
Get a sign that says there's nothing you can't eat in this whole place. I'm eating flowers when I got here.
You like these?
We're good.
It's more sweet. And it doesn't have like that.
Yeah.
There's some more greens if you like.
So how many rows of beets like that would you have for your family? When they're that good, I could eat a whole row in one day with my
I'll
six.
show you the ones I planted in April, that half the row is still there. You know what? Not today. Another day, but not today. Are you watching this? You see the dog. He's going for my, and this is what, people's dogs have to have dog food. Look how nice she looks. She eats live food.
Do you feed her meat too?
I feed my dogs no meat.
Wow.
At all.
That's amazing. Wow. Do you eat
I want the leaves
Nope.
from some beets.
On occasion, if I go to someone's house and they have it, I'm thankful. I don't buy it. And on Passover, I will eat lamb. But otherwise, I don't eat meat.
Your eggs from your garden.
Eggs are awesome. It's the most complete whole food that exists. And I love eggs. Did you get a beet? Here, pass these around.
Thank you so much.
Is everybody starting to notice that everything you're eating is full of water?
I'm getting full.
And full of flavor.
Actually full.
You hear somebody saying he's full?
Yeah.
You're satisfied.
Little taste.
Could I try one?
Well, you can give me a little bit of that, Brian. Oh,
Here, one's for you. Come, it's coming up right here.
Paul, do you eat raw egg?
On occasion, yeah, eggnog.
thank you.
I'll make eggnog with maple syrup.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
man.
Look at
Thank you.
Do you think that getting them from a farm, a small town farm, is good, or do you recommend doing it yourself? Egg, chicken.
Well, this in most cases, you don't know what people are feeding their animals, and all grain today is genetically modified. So we just connect the dots. See, my chickens eat absolutely no grain. They eat nothing but live food. Eating all this. Come on. Anybody didn't get a beet?
We need to get our own chicken.
Someone not get a beet? Here, there's one for each.
Did you hear what he said about the dog? You don't have to have an Anatolian Shepherd.
Oh, you don't?
Now, does anybody here do a garden? I want to show you, make a demonstration of the whole idea of soil preparation is unnecessary. So all you people who do gardens, come up here to watch this. Let's see. I'm gonna get somebody who's got some weight and some shoes on. Here, come here. You're good. I want you to stand right there and compact my soil. Really pound it down good.
Harder.
You can even jump on it. Really get with it.
There you go.
Now, you noticing what's happening under his feet?
It's moving.
The ground is laughing at him. Literally. It just bounces back.
It's a really big
Now,
field.
pack that down real good. Now, those of you who do gardens, you know what would happen in your garden if you did that.
You see it bounce back.
Are you following me? Now step back and watch this. Here. This is huge. This one so blows me away. After all that compaction, watch this. There it is. And see, here's my approach to gardening. Anytime I want to garden, I bring my rake out, grade it out, create a groove, plant my seeds, cover it, I'm done. That is the extent of everything you see here any time of year. The whole concept of soil preparation is completely non-existent. You never have to prepare this.
Just put the knife on. Put the knife on.
It never needs preparation. Ever. And you can see where I pull up plants, the ground underneath is soft. You can have that. You can pick that and eat it. You can eat all the leaves and the beef. Rub it off in the grass. Here, rub it in the grass. Rub it off. Make it clean in the grass. Make it clean.
It's a beet. It's like candy.
And you can eat it. And it's like candy.
Okay, thank you.
What is this dirt made out of?
This is dirt made out of. I'm glad you asked. Look at this. Come over here. People, I want you to handle it.
It's broken.
This material is created, listen to me clearly, from all my yard waste by my chickens. Totally for free. This gorgeous black, amazing stuff that's growing, all of this is created from my grass clippings, all these leaves, all these plants I don't eat, all my weeds, the ashes on my stove, all make this. Totally free, they do all the work, and all I need for the rest of my life, my garden, is a shovel, my wheelbarrow, and a half-inch screen, and I have this forever. Are you starting to connect the dots? This is the thing I'm getting to see is I came to a place where I couldn't walk. The Holy Spirit says, you know, you're not going to be able to haul wood chips. Everything you need is right here. Look at your chickens. I'm just saying, I'm telling you, man, look at this stuff. You couldn't buy, you couldn't make anything comparable to this at any price. This is all free from my yard waste.
And then do you put wood chips on top of that?
No, I don't. This is finished. Why would I want wood chips? See, wood chips you got to pull back to plant in the soil. This I can plant right in.
Did you start with wood chips?
I did.
Okay.
And that's when I was walking. But I don't walk now, and I can't haul wood chips easily and wheelbarrow them in. But this is all here. It's all local.
And so for us, of those who are starting, got wood chips down.
Yeah.
Have an inch or so of compost cow manure on top of that. Is there anything else we should do to that before the winter comes?
No, actually, the cow manure, if you have it's fine, but don't go get it.
Oh, that before it comes in the compost.
Yeah, it's fine. And again, whatever you put in your ground, listen to me clearly, never mix. Ever. Ever notice the Creator who's omnipotent? That means he can do anything. Never disturbs the ground. He never tills, and he never mixes. He just layers. Layer upon layer. And I'm realizing, like, this is really how it's done. You can't do it better. And when I used to do all this stupid mixing and tilling and stuff, man, I had really terrible results. And I worked hard to fail. I mean, I really worked hard and got nothing.
So we just got wood chips a few weeks ago, and we're spreading them out in our garden.
This is the perfect time of year because what's following this will be winter. When rain and snow go through it, comes spring, you pull the wood chips back, the soil underneath is soft and damp, you plant your plants and you're going to get out of the way because your ground doesn't need you anymore.
So we don't need to put any compost or anything on the top layer?
Nothing, the wood chips are fine.
Okay, so it'll be enough by fall.
In nature. All that falls in the ground are needles and leaves. They will compost when they hit the ground, but when they come down, they're totally what they are. You see, we keep thinking we got to do something, we got to help this out. Can I tell you something? Anytime I try to help nature, I mess it up.
So you only put the movie you talked about compost on top. That's only if you put it in the
I didn't.
spring.
It was the people in Pennsylvania, and that's what they had. It was accessible, and it all works. Whatever material you have will work. Can I tell you something cool?
Okay.
Everybody listen to me. Someone sent me a picture of this awesome man. I was so blown away, and I so honor him. This guy in Haiti. He's out in his garden, shorts, bare feet, and he's spreading palm fronds and sugarcane around all his fruit trees to cover the ground. You saw the film. Then he goes to where they're producing white rice. White rice doesn't come white, it comes brown, and they take the hull off to make it white. So in the place they're processing, they have these mounds of brown rice hulls. He's taking that and spreading all over his garden space. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, he goes in his house, puts on a white coat, and serves his community as a doctor into the evening. And I was so set back in honor and respect for this awesome man. See, he connected. He saw it. And what I have, I'll use. Palm fronds, sugar cane, rice hull. Any covering will work. And if you have nothing but rocks, rocks make the most amazing garden space. You think I'm stupid? But let me tell you two examples. In Japan, because they have not any organic material, the Japanese, because they're more connected to nature than most cultures, they'll meticulously lay rock beautifully around all their plantings for 2 reasons. 1, it releases minerals, and 2, it retains water. Can I tell you my experience as a kid in Los Angeles in August when I want to go fishing? In Los Angeles in August, you want to go fishing, the ground is baked. We're talking concrete baked. Good luck finding a worm. But if you find a large rock, and you roll it over, under the rock, the ground is damp, and there's worms laying there.
Yeah.
Says two things. The rock is releasing minerals to feed the worm, and it retains moisture. Are you getting it? So if you have nothing but rocks, you can grow a great garden in rocks. So any material will work as a covering. Anything. Because it's by design, it's how it's made. And here's the word, from dust we came, from dust we return. Everything God's created turns back to dirt. You know what's so beautiful about his system? What a perfect recycling thing, and nothing he's made is toxic. Everything in nature breaks down and returns to the soil, and it's not toxic. Conversely, everything we make doesn't break down and it's toxic. I'm just telling you, man, it's huge. Huge.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
No, I deal a lot with bulk mulches and you know, for commercial purposes. And when I take a lot of waste in, a lot of clippings and things like that have been taken off of properties that use a lot of pesticides and a lot of fungicides and so on, and then they process it, and then I go back in and I buy it as mulch. I place that back on properties, and I'm just wondering how that, if the heat really destroys any of those chemicals.
No.
Well, they don't. Let me tell you something scary, and I'm glad you asked. This is really good. This is why I'm recommending wood chips today. Back in time past, all that yard waste was safe because no chemicals were added. All manures were good because the animals were eating live food. Today, animals are eating genetically modified organisms, antibiotics, and growth hormones. Manures are polluted. I saw this article in Mother's News that was so sad. This family in the Midwest who had been gardening for decades in this space went and put this cow manure in and tilled it in. Nothing grew. In this garden space for decades, that was an amazing garden, nothing grew. They found out the farmer had used 2,4-D, Agent Orange, on his pasture to take out the broadleaf weeds. The cows ate that, it's in the manure, and it totally wiped out and destroyed their garden. So I'm just telling you, we've got to pay attention, you've got to ask whatever you're getting where it came from. And then what I do for people, encourage you, is to pray. God, is this stuff safe? And if you have a piece, go with it. If you have a check, I don't know, don't. Because we're living in a time when things are not as they were before. Before, everything in nature was totally clean. They're not now. And I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, another thing too, I find that in various sources of these mulches, that after they're put down and left without any chemicals on them, there are various different types of weeds that comes in, depending on where I purchased the processing. Yeah. And sometimes I'll be surprised, like finding weeds that I would haven't found in years.
Came with the material.
Came with the material. Yeah. And sometimes it's just prolific. I mean, they just that's why
I love wood chips. Wood chips don't have weeds. Wood chips don't have weeds. They're the safest, most awesome material to use at these times. You know, so it's just
well, being in having accounts in Seattle, they don't like wood chips. They like nice, fluffy mulch.
Yeah, but you see, it all turns back to that. You pull those bushes back in there, it's soft, beautiful underneath. It takes time. But you know what's so bizarre? People put bark down. That's ugly. It all turns gray. It doesn't say nice, nice and red. And you live with that. Just wood chips are the same. Looks the same. Let's walk on down here. And now, if you haven't had a cucumber yet, there's a ton in here, and they're really good. I encourage you to have them because they're really, really full of water and very good.
Yeah,
we because I water it.
There's no, hardly any weeds.
If you look close, they are. I just mowed it, but see here, there's dandelions right there.
Oh, we have a lot more weeds.
The reason my grass is so thick and green is because it's never been fertilized with a chemical fertilizer. Can everybody track with me? This guy over here nodding his head will validate what I was saying. When he was young growing up, thatch did not exist in grass. What thatch is, dead grass. And today, people remove it by ripping it out. You know why thatch is in grass today? Grass in its natural state, when it dies back, composts and feeds the grass. Today, with chemical fertilizers put on grass, you know what happens? All the living organisms that would break down that grass are killed or leave, and now you have nothing to break it down, and the thatch is there. I've come to lawns that are full of moss and thatch and put chicken manure in 3 weeks. People are yelling at me because they have to mow the lawn twice a week, and it's the greenest lawn they ever had. I'm amazed how quickly nature will restore. But people don't get it. And you ever look at those lawns that are fertilized? Track with me. The grass is a dull black green. It's not this bright, shiny green like this is. It's unnatural looking. And you've accepted that as normal and you keep buying that garbage? Are you getting the impact this stupid schooling's had on your brain? You don't even think.
So you spread chicken manure?
I don't do anything. The grass feeds itself. I don't use chicken manure. The grass dies back and it feeds itself. Look at all the beautiful prairies in nature. No one's feeding those. No one's fertilizing. They're gorgeous.
So you're just talking about the dead lawns.
I'm talking about all the chemically fertilized lawns in the cities.
That you recover them by putting.
Chicken manure on because it's organic, and I bring back the live forest. Yeah. See, when you put it back, nature says, "Oh, I can live here." Yeah. Again, if you start checking in and paying attention, it's so obvious.
How do we get the dandelions out of our grass?
You get dandelions out of your grass with a asparagus knife, and you dig them out.
Okay.
You know what you can do? An easy way. What I do with the really big ones, I'll make a saline solution, 100%, and with a sprayer, I'll just hit them, and salt kills everything. And it won't affect the rest of your grass. But you got to be really careful in the application because if it spreads over, it'll kill that. But salt is not toxic in the sense it's going to, be a chemical, but it will kill. You ever notice beaches? No weeds grow. Salt. I want to share something awesome. Somebody did a test on my soil. Well, it's an organization in Montana. I can't think of the name, but anyway, they're in Fairmont, Montana, and they test soil for farmers all over the United States, and they developed the whole BRICS testing system, where you test for minerals. And they created the refractometer. Anyway, the owner who has that saw my film, and he says, I'd love to test that guy's soil, but I can't get out there, so he sent a friend of his from Seattle over to take a soil sample. When you get the test back, you get this paper, and there's 2 columns. First column it says desired level, and the second column is lab results. My report was so awesome. Listen to these numbers. Nitrogen, desired level is 40, mine's 120. Desired level of phosphorus, this blew me away. Desired level of phosphorus is 174, mine is 2346. Desired level of potassium, 167, mine's 1154. Coming down to the smaller numbers, zinc, desired level is 1 to 6, mine's 21.5. You know what's so cool about the test that really got my attention? The only thing I was low in on any mineral was sodium. And I'm thinking, wow, God, you're awesome. Who wants sodium in your garden? That's salt. That kills things. And I'm low in sodium. I just say, wow, God. Yay, God, you're awesome. And you know what I so love about that report? I didn't do anything. I just put wood chips down. I put wood chips down, and those are the numbers. And you see, this is why this food all tastes so good. It's that mineral content that's like over the top. Is what's happening here, and that's why the flavor's there. It's minerals. It's huge. And I'm thinking, I didn't do a thing. This is just the natural response to laying the skin back on the earth. You don't need to help God out. He knows what to do. Everything works. It's just get out of its way. Leave it alone.
I don't know if someone else asked this. So if you're starting a garden and you put down the wood chips, do you need to wait? You can't just directly plant into the wood chips. In the video,
yes, you're so right. And here, everybody, this is really helpful. If you have time, go to the website backedenfilm.com and look under news. There's a section of news. There's this report by Rodale Institute who analyzes, who gives a review of the film, and they so incredibly explain how wood chips work. And you see, wood chips are not a growing medium. They're a covering and support to the earth. And so whenever you put wood chips down, you pull the wood chips back and you plant in the soil. All roots need to be in the soil. The wood chips act as a covering and support to the soil, but they're not a growing medium. If you saw my film, those people in Pennsylvania, they went and planted the wood chips. All the plants came up and they just didn't grow. And then they went back and did it again where they planted the soil and it thrived. So I'm so glad you asked. Wood chips are not a growing medium, they're a support to the soil, so always plant. So in a garden space, put down just 4 inches. You got to pull it back. More than that's a lot of work.
Well, what if your dirt underneath is not very good or something? You need to wait like a year or so for the
I'm going to take you over and
break
show you
down?
my dirt. You don't have to wait a year. If you do that now, I guarantee concrete, rock, and clay in April, you'll move it with a rake, it'll be soft and damp by April.
If you put the wood chips down in
now.
May,
And in
year.
April, you pull it back. And see, when you plant seeds, you only go a 1/4 inch anyway. Can I tell you something? Well, I'll tell you when I get over here because I'm going to show you my soil. Anyway, let's walk over here and
I have another question. So in here you said it's 4 inches over there. It looks a little higher.
It's quite a bit higher, yeah. You can see the grade.
I mean, so it doesn't look like there's very many wood chips in here. So what keeps this the damp, like it is?
It's organic material. It's all yard waste. See, all this stuff here is created from my yard waste.
Okay.
And a hold moisture.
Okay, so you put that on top. Okay.
See, what's so convenient, I don't have to pull it back. I plant right in it. It's so very easy.
Right.
And the other thing that's convenient, it's all created here. I don't have to haul anything in.
Yeah.
So it's local.
So after you had done those wood chips, and now it's such good dirt, it just holds the moisture in like the.
It's compost.
Yeah.
Look, you saw this stuff out there. You see that cabbage out there is growing just as well as this.
Yeah.
Because it's the same stuff. It's all organic material turning back to dirt, unmessed with,
But this doesn't need to be covered again. Then.
This is a covering. This is covering. Okay. That's why the guy, when you pounded it down, didn't break down.
Right.
It's not dirt.
Okay.
It's covering.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all covering. This is all skin.
Wow.
How many chickens?
How many chickens? I need 30 to take care of all my yard waste. I'm making a lot of yard waste here.
So we could probably get away with it.
We've got some rock hard concrete, really hard dirt, and just wood chips and let them sit for a
change
little.
it.
He said you could pick a cucumber.
Right here. There's a whole bunch. See them right there? They're all over the place.
Look at that. You can pick that, he said. Look at that big cucumber.
This one over here, this variety comes from the Middle East, and it's very, very thin skin, very nice. This is a typical one.
Pick this or can I?
Everybody likes green beans. Sample mine. They're really good.
Daddy has the ice.
Now, someone asked me about how much beets I plant for my family and how quick they go out, how many rows. See these 2 rows of beets here? This has been feeding my family and friends all year, and we can't get them out. You see how tight they are together? This is what's so amazing about how stuff's growing here is I have such an abundance. You know what's so unbelievable? I have not eaten broccoli for months because I have so much food I can't even begin to sample all the stuff I have. It's scary.
What do you do with leftovers?
Everything goes to the chickens. And people come here every week and take boxes out of here of food and you can't even tell they're here.
How are your eggs?
My eggs are awesome. The eggs are dark orange, they stand up, and the flavor is overwhelming. And you see my dog's hair? You see how both of them, their hair shines? They eat raw eggs every day. I'm just telling you, it works. Now, what's that? Some. I cook potatoes, and zucchini, we'll lightly steam it. And some of the beets, some of the big red beets, I'll cook those a little bit. But just enough to get them soft, But I cook very little. Now broccoli, watch this. Everybody knows from experience. Oh, this broccoli was planted in April. It's fed me the whole year. I had the huge heads, and I get all these secondaries. This is April planting. Now watch, this is amazing. You know from your experience that this is going to be tough, really tough. I want you to start there and start eating and talk to us. Be very honest.
Wow.
Now you see, you don't need to cook that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't cook it because it's tender.
I would never do that. No.
It's tender. And can I tell you something? Everybody look at my body language. Check me out. When things grow quickly, they're tender and sweet. When things grow slow, they're tough and bitter. It's all about how it grew. You see, plants that are growing in hard, compacted, sterile ground, they're struggling to grow. And they let you know they're tough and bitter. In this stuff, they can't contain themselves. They just, we're there. And it's tender and sweet. Again, it's just so obvious, so isn't that good? Yeah. And now talk to me. Those that are eating that, would you cook that?
I would normally eat it.
Why? I love his answer. Why? And you see, it's so much better, so much crispier, so much nice. That stuff you cook is slimy, it's soft, it's mushy, it's like gross, really, compared to this.
You completely changed them.
But I hope so.
Potatoes every day.
I hope so, because this is how we're supposed to live, really. Really, this is how we're supposed to live. Let me make a connection for you. I want you all listen to me. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus makes a very, very interesting statement to connect us to our default, to our disconnection. He says this, consider the birds of the air. He include all the animals, because they didn't separate. They didn't disconnect. He says this, they don't sow, they don't reap, and they don't store food in barns. But your Heavenly Father takes care of them. And then he poses a question to get our attention. He says, aren't you of more value than them? What he's saying is the Father planned on taking care of you all the same way. You disconnected. You disconnected. You ever look at animals? They're so relaxed, so free. They eat only food fresh in season. They have no refrigerator, no stove, carry no health insurance, don't go to doctors. And the answer is so simple. They eat food fresh in season. And they don't work for it. It just shows up. And they help themselves. And we, as intelligent beings, do all this hard stuff and are sick and pay for this dead food when it's all free out there, freely available? I'm telling you, the disconnect is huge because it makes absolutely no sense.
I have a question again. So what do you really eat in the winter? Like, do you just eat potatoes and carrots, or like
No,
what else?
during the winter, for greens, I have kale and cilantro that grows all winter, bright green, gorgeous. In the soil, I have the sweetest beets and carrots, far nicer than these, because when the ground freezes, the sugar can come out of it. I have rutabagas, turnips. Then I have potatoes. I have a cooler full of apples. And it's just like, I mean, all year long, I'm eating incredibly delicious, fresh, amazing live food.
Do you leave the beets in the ground, or you harvest
Everything.
them?
You see, that's why I have all this stuff. See, all this stuff over there. That's going to feed me all winter. And so I plant it now, so in winter it's full. Because it's not growing in the winter, but it stays in the ground, and it's still live. See, the whole idea is, everybody listen to me. This is so common sense. Live food produces life. Dead food can never produce life. It's simple math. And all of you, when you think about it, most of the food you eat is dead. Most of it. Stuff in boxes, cans, bags, that sits on the shelves for weeks, months, years, is dead. It's dead. And as you eat that on a consistent basis, you think you're going to get some life out of it? Come on. And see, this is something that blows my mind as how we live. We're not thinking. Or when you eat this is why that guy said, I can't believe how satisfied I am. I'm not even thinking about food. And it's 5 o'clock and I had no lunch. It's just, you guys, are you noticing who's eating this stuff, how you're satisfied you're feeling? And you're not drinking your water bottles? Anybody connecting the dots here?
How much time do you spend on all this in a week or so, on an average week?
Do you see how I walk? Do you see the condition of this place? You see all this lawn around you, how nice it looks?
Is this all you?
And I mow this with a walk-behind mower.
Oh.
I want you to hear me clearly. It would be impossible for me to maintain this place in my physical condition apart from this connection with God and the ease that He's made it.
And you're the only one who
I'm
does
the
it all?
only one who maintains this place. I have this place because I had 7 children who are all adults now. The youngest is 19, the oldest is 40. And I had it here for them, and they're all well. None were immunized, and they're all powerful adults. But today they're not here to help me. I do it all myself in this condition. And it's a total statement to the ease and simplicity and how awesome it looks. I used to mow my lawn in 2 hours. Today it takes me anywhere from 8 to 10 hours to mow this grass. But I'm doing it. And it looks good. You know, and I'm not stressed. I'm not freaking out. And it's abundant. It's just, and I'm just telling you, this is how it's supposed to be. Can I tell you the heart of the Father? You see, here's the word. It says in the Scripture, it's good for a young man to bear the yoke in his youth. You hear me? It's good for a man to bear the yoke. What God's saying is up front, if you work hard up front and do it right, as you get older, it'll take care of you. Look at what everyone else is doing. Up front, chemical fertilizer is cheap, you get a quick return, and over the years, you get less and less at higher cost. That's hard on your psyche, because you think your investment should be taking care of you, and it's not. You become a slave to it. Well, this is so classic. As I become older and more disabled, this is getting easier and more productive. You see, that's the nature of the Father. He knows how we're made, and He's designed these principles to totally cover and maintain abundant provision for as long as I live, with less work as you go. I'm really loving this. This is so fun. You see, my garden used to be a stress. I have to get out every spring and till all these weeds and fight all this mud, and I'm just stressed. 5 days after I till my ground, it's all weeds again, and I'm just freaking out how hard I'm working going backwards. And then He showed me how to do it. Now it's like, can I go out to the garden today? It's just fun. I just like hanging out here. I get on my knees, I get my hands and stuff, I get grounded. I'm just feeling therapeutically blessed. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. I don't want to go anywhere because it's just nice here. Are you noticing how have you guys noticed when you got here, as soon as you showed up, this incredible sense of peace that is in this place? Well, that's the presence of God. I mean, why would I want to go to some chaotic, stressful city environment when I have this to live in? This is just conducive to life. This is just enjoyable. You know, like, come on, that's how it's supposed to be. Anybody like celery? You should have some of this because it's really good.
Now, is there anything that you will buy at the store?
Yeah, there's some things I buy at the store because I grew up in California and I miss avocados and dates. And those plants are not messed with by bugs. Dates grow way high up in the palm tree, no bugs go there, and avocados have a really thick skin, no bugs attached, so they don't spray them. So I do go to Costco and buy dates and avocados, but nothing else.
The sheep, do you do anything with that?
Those are not my sheep.
Oh.
The lady who has them, her pasture, by early summer is totally dead and eaten, and she would have to pay a portion to feed these sheep. She brings them here every year because this is all free, and she can't believe how much healthy they are after they leave my place. So it's just a real blessing because I need that grass. Yes.
Can I please pick some cucumbers?
You may.
Did you mean a carrot or a cucumber?
Cucumber. You go pick the biggest one you can find, buddy. Just get in there and find a big one, and just enjoy it.
So when do you sow seeds, Paul?
When do you sow seeds? There's a time and place for everything. Where I live, April is the earliest you can sow seeds. One year I tried to push it and I planted in March. You know what happened? Nothing came up till April. What really got my attention, I planted bean seeds in April, which you can't plant until May. And what utterly blew my mind, they all came up a month later in May. Anybody who's a gardener knows that's impossible. You put bean seeds in the ground, in several weeks they'll come up, they rot. They do not stay in the ground for a month. But all my bean seeds stayed a month and came up in May, because that's their time. The last planting I do here is September 1st. After September 1st, I plant lettuce, spinach, cilantro, arugula. After September 1st, nothing makes it. That's your last planting. So April 1st to September 1st you can plant.
So if you plant something earlier than what
it won't come up.
But it'll come up when...
In wood chips, it'll be okay, because you ever notice the Creator? You know the kind of thing He likes to show off. Remember how they teach you in school how to collect seeds? In the fall, you collect seeds. And you store them in a warm, dry place, and then plant them next April, or spring. You ever notice what the Creator does?
Just drops them.
The seeds fall in the ground, and then He does this amazing show-off thing. He brings in winter with seriously cold weather, ice, snow, floods, winds, all this like just chaotic, hard to live with stuff. And all those seeds, enduring all that, come up every spring, saying, we're fine. I'm just telling you, man. When
Do you let it all reseed, or you don't collect seeds?
I collect seeds, yeah.
Oh, you do?
Look, all my kale, I collect, because my seeds are superior to anything I can buy, because of how they're growing. I've actually compared. I bought, seed and planted mine next to it. Mine come up quicker and they're bigger, because of how they grow. My plants are eating better than everybody else's, so they're better seed.
I got the whole bag.
Paul, what's this?
That's, oh, cabbage. Everybody come here. We got to do this. Everybody pick up this cabbage. I want you to be blown away at the weight. Everybody, just pass it around. I want you to get the significance of water and minerals.
Why not?
Is that significant?
It is.
Your hands are wet.
Yeah, I know.
That is significant. The weight of that cabbage. And that was growing, listen to me, that was growing out in the orchard in wood chips, having never been watered the whole summer.
Wow.
Ever. Is that awesome?
Yeah. That's incredible.
We have bowling balls that weigh less than
Wow. That's a lot of coleslaw.
While you're passing it around, someone peel off a leaf and eat it and see how good it is. Yeah, just peel off a piece there and start eating it. You're going to be blown away at how delicious, sweet, and full of water.
Ready?
Is that good?
And then a 20-pound baby to you.
Wow. Come, Zoe.
Is that significant?
It's amazing. And it's gorgeous and perfect.
And it grew all summer in wood chips under my trees with all their roots taking everything out and was never irrigated, ever. I'm just telling you, I don't know about you, but this rocks my brain.
Yeah.
This just blows me away because I know how I used to live. I had water and fertilize. I never got that. I don't care what I did. I could never get that. And I do nothing, stick seeds in the ground and walk off and that happens. I'm just telling you, man, it's awesome. Now somebody here today, if you like cabbage, you take that home.
I see a fight
Speaking
coming.
of water, we have pretty much unlimited water out of a well. There's no harm in water.
No, you can't overwater in wood chips.
Yeah, okay.
Here, everybody listen to me. Somebody asked me, I got a wonderful well, unlimited. Is there any chance of overwatering? I says impossible in wood chips. Let me give you an example. Just down the road here from where I live, 70 miles, is a rainforest, the whole rainforest. The whole rainforest gets 14 feet, not 14 inches, 14 feet of annual rainwater.
Sounds like our place.
Excuse me?
Sounds like our place. We live almost.
But are you hearing me? In your mind, picture.
Yeah, Zoe.
You may. At
least 10 pounds.
Picture the ground with 14 feet of water on it in your mind. What that's going to look like? If you all saw my film, or if you've ever been there, these girls are out walking in that rainforest on stuff just like this. It's not boggy, it's not soggy. Here's the thing that blows my mind about the Creator. Track with me the math here. Here these wood chips are an inanimate object. They have no brain. Are you following me? With 14 feet of water laying on the ground, the wood chips bring it to the surface and evaporate it so there's no standing water. In my place, where there's no water happening since the end of June, it's retaining the water. And this material has no brain. When there's too much water, it displaces it. And when it's not enough, it holds on to it. I don't know about you, Ben, but this rocks my brain. This is like, what? An inanimate object doing these principles all by itself, so it's impossible to overwater. Just enjoy yourself. Just let it go. Here's the other cool thing about wood chips, no brain. Which is heavier? Wood chips or dirt? Dirt is considerably heavier. What happens when dirt gets dry and the wind blows? It's gone. Wood chips, which are lighter, don't move. I don't know about you, man, but this rocks my brain. I'm just saying, like, God, you are awesome. This is totally, completely beyond what you could imagine. And He does these cool things. Because this is His design. This is how He operates. Perfect order in just amazing, amazing ways. I'm telling you.
If we have this on the surface and we want to have a garden for next year,
Wood chips right now, and in spring you pull the wood chips back. That soil underneath this in spring will be soft and damp. 1/4 inch screw, plant your seeds. As they come up, push your wood chips back.
how much wood?
4 inches in a garden space. If you have established trees, 8 inches or more. In a garden space is 4 inches because you got to pull it back. And you will be blown away in spring. You pull it back. That soil will be soft and damp because that's the nature of the Creator. See, what I'm getting is that all it takes is repentance. God is really good and He really loves us, but we must come His way. And when I choose to repent, I'm sorry. I'm going to replace the skin. He immediately restores me because that's His heart. He really wants to bless us, but we must come His way. He's not going to be, changed, and He's not going our way. He's God, and He does stuff right, and He just maintains right. See, if your ground is not level, and you have airspace, the cardboard's rigid, and it won't bend to that space, and those weeds will stay alive. Where paper, when it gets wet, it lays tight to the ground, and anything without oxygen or light dies. When paper lays tight to the ground, it takes out the oxygen. And what's cool about the paper, in just a matter of months, it's all rotted and gone, it's not even there, where cardboard used to be there for a while. So it's just paper, thin paper is the way to go.
So if you don't use paper,
For the garden.
just get
Yeah, you see, like if you have grass, 8 inches or more of wood chips take everything out. 4 inches will come through, saying, "Oh, thanks for feeding me."
Yikes.
8 inches or more, you cut off the oxygen that's over there. So it's just in a grass.
Doesn't matter thicker versus not thicker.
Doesn't matter, no. But when you're doing a garden space on like a lawn like this, so you never want to take the grass out because it's green organic material. You just cover it and let it compost and let it turn back to soil.
Just need the...
Do you have any conception of what the human race is doing to the earth at this time, as far as corruptive, damaging process to the earth? And you see how the earth keeps coming back? I'm just telling you, if this earth was not resilient, we would all be dead. With all the toxic stuff we produce, life would have ended long ago. But the earth is amazingly resilient. And so my sense of the ink in the paper, it's not an issue. I think it's all going to get washed out, leached out, and be taken care of by nature, and it's just, I don't care. I just don't see it as a problem. That's my sense. And I feel real good about that. I ask, and I just, don't worry about the ink. I'm okay. There's some things that, some of these hydrocarbons that are in these chemicals don't break down, but I think ink does. And so just whatever you do, pray. And if you have a peace about it, do it. If you have a check, don't. It's that simple. The word says, let the peace of God rule in your heart. And the word peace in the Greek is be the umpire. Be led by peace. That's huge. So whatever you're thinking about, if you have peace, go there. If you have a check, don't. It's that simple. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. What was better? You said go Home Depot and get what
kind of paper? The paper at Home Depot, they have these 4-foot rolls of brown paper. And contractors use them in houses when they're working on carpet areas to keep all the debris off. And it's just really quick to run out that big roll instead of opening up newspapers and have the wind blow it and try to keep it down. So it's just more convenient. It's just very fast. It's not very expensive, and it's just really quick. It's efficient. Where paper, like when the wind blows, man, good luck. It's going to be always. So you got to, it's labor intensive. Where that paper, those rolls, is just really fast.
Thank you.
You don't have to worry about that.
Let's walk over here, and I'll tell you why Adam began to till. Now, you men, I like the men that come up front because you're the best at dealing because you operate out of your mind. You do. When you have a problem, you try to figure it out. Where women have more of a tendency to operate in a spirit called women's intuition, they go to their heart to try to figure things out. Where men just gotta go here. So all you men show up here. So if we're walking down the road, and I'm with you, and I say, oh, you see these wood chips over here? This would be a great place to plant a garden. You men.
Clear those wood chips out of the way.
You hear this? You see, and that's exactly your thought. He says, you're nuts. You can't plant a garden in wood chips. You gotta have dirt. I want you to observe the stuff growing here. If you haven't had blueberries yet, pick some of those because they're really good. Look at the sage. Look at these low-growing blueberries. Look at that blueberry. Look at that lavender. Look at these fig trees. And you're telling me you can't grow a garden?
Nick picked one.
Go get more. They're good. Help yourself. They're really good. You kids are right at your level. You don't even bend over. Fennel is you have never had anything this sweet all day long. This is going to be the sweetest thing you've ever encountered.
Where can you get this kind of fennel?
I got it in a nursery.
Okay.
Check out that sweet. Everybody, I'm going to tell you this is sweeter than you've ever had. Nothing you've ever eaten. Anybody who grows fennel, anybody who has it, yours doesn't taste like this. Nope. Not even close. Can you hear me clearly? You know why this tastes like this? It's mineral content. And look where it's growing. It's growing in these funky dead wood chips that nothing's supposed to grow in. I just want you to start getting the significance of this. This is not, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not twisting. I want you to experience this is reality. Now, let me tell you about how to grow strawberries. Everybody listen, because this is something you'll never get out of a book, but it's powerful. Strawberries are labor intensive because they send out runners. You see all these here? And in time your bed gets very dense, and the challenge is the new growth you want to keep is on top, and the stuff that's not producing is underneath. And it's hard to get at. And so I'm out here doing this hard thing, you know, getting this stuff in that, and I'm talking to God, now God, you said your yoke is easy, your burden's light. This isn't it. How would you approach this? He says, just cover it. He says, what? Yeah, every fall, just bury the whole bed. Here's what happens. You know how your strawberries look in the winter? Ugly. Dead brown leaves and miserable to look at. Under wood chips during the winter, it's gorgeous. Beautiful clean wood chips, something to look at, you can walk on it, it's just like they're not there. And here's what happens. Under the wood chips, all these leaves are composting and fertilizing the plants. And here's the genius of God that blows me away. In spring, totally staggered, uncrowded, the young shoots come pushing through wood chips. All the old ones, because they're weak, die and become fertilized. You look at this bed, there's not one old plant. They're all healthy and green. And you see, let me get somebody here. You with a baby, walk across my strawberries full weight. Just walk on it, full weight. Go, not full weight. Go back. Full weight. Yeah, go for it. Look, they're not smashed, they're not broken, because the wood chips underneath give it a buoyant air surface. And these have never been watered, and I have no weeds. I mean, can it get easier? Can it get easier? I'm just telling you, man, I love the Creator. He makes things so simple and so awesome. Look at that gorgeous stuff. You know, this is
pile wood chips on the
yeah. No, this stuff here is like wood shavings and horse roots. I put that in my chicken pan. I had some left over, so I just put that here. But it's just phenomenal how well things grow in it. You see, I'm growing this under my trees. The open strawberries over there. Now, you see, those are drier because it's, you know, it's not as much of it. But I'm growing under my trees strawberries. It's supposed to grow in full sun.
And how much wood chips would you put?
Just enough to bury. Now, see, it doesn't take much. Watch this. Oops, I'm sorry. You see how that lays down? A little bit puts it down. So just enough to cover, like, no more than an inch. And then, again, all winter, it's just gorgeous. You can walk on it, no ugly leaves. And then in spring, totally staggered, these healthy plants come up looking like this, producing, these are golf size. He's been here. They're the size of golf balls when they get ripe, and then you get wet eating. It's awesome.
So you'll be doing that
pretty soon, yeah. I say I'll probably end of October with my tours. I want to save it for my tours, but probably in October my tours I'll finish. Does anybody grow thyme in their garden? The herb thyme? We get thyme. Do you? Yeah. How does you look compared to that?
Well, it's not that bad.
You guys eat thyme?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Anybody use thyme in cooking?
I do. Lots.
Take a very small piece of that. When I say small, I can't say that strongly enough because it's going to shock you at how potent it is. The potency is going to blow you away.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So have some fennel to take that away because it's really strong.
Oh, it's like,
it's potent.
it's so spicy.
Let me tell you,
This is thyme.
I have you do this because I want you to understand the significance of minerals. No thyme you buy in the store comes close to that. Because this is minerals. This is what minerals do to food. Now to get that out of your mouth, go have some more fennel. She asked, typical day of eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What utterly blows my mind is how little I eat at this place. I start out in the morning in the spring and I have a handful of strawberries and I go the whole day working and have major energy and I'm not tired. I'm thinking like, where's the protein? How come I'm not hungry? I'm just telling you, it's scary to me how little I eat nowadays. And I'm not losing weight. My weight's been the same since I was 16 years old. I'm wearing the same size pants. And I'm not eating much food. Because this stuff is so full of life, so full of minerals, you don't need a lot. So every year I'm amazed how much less I eat. Because it's getting better. So it's, like I said, this woman was here, that sick, tired lady, and she, all she had was leeks. She sauteed and had that for a meal and was totally satisfied. She was shocked. Because you're usually having this and that and that. When you get live food, you don't need a lot. I mean, I'll sit down with some beets and I'm good for the night. You're like, I'm done. You know, in the wintertime, I bake some potatoes on my wood stove and I have some salad and I'm good. I'm I'm full. There's just nothing more. So again, when you have live food, it takes very little to satisfy. Conversely, when you don't, you're eating tons of stuff and you're wanting more. Because you're just not there. Now, let me show you something here, you guys, especially you men. This is huge. You see this sage here? Anybody who knows where sage grows, they know it grows in deserts where there's no water. Everybody tracking? Yeah. This is a desert plant and it wants no water. You see in front of my blueberries over there, those plants? That is wasabi. Wasabi only grows in standing water in shade. Yeah, that's how it grows. Commercial growers 8 years ago were getting anywhere from $90 to $120 a pound for the roots because it's hard to grow. Commercial growers grow under black covering hydroponically because it has to be in standing water. Are you getting what I'm just saying to you? Here I have a desert plant that wants no water and one that wants to be in standing water growing side by side, and I've never irrigated. I don't know about you, but my brain reeks. I just can't wrap around that. It's too big for me. So I asked the creator because I couldn't get it. Come on, this is impossible. He told me it was so cool. He says there's enough airspace in the wood chips for the sage to hang out in the open spaces and avoid the water. But if the wasabi wants it, it can go where it is, but they have the option. I'm telling you, I broke. I was so blown away at the wisdom of the creator. He designed his landscape in such a way that you can plant anything in the same place and they all thrive because it's perfectly balanced and meets all the needs. Look at this, for example. You haven't had a cucumber yet? Have one of these. Cucumbers are an alkaline plant. Are you following me? pH. Alkaline. See those blueberries? That's an acid plant. Totally acid. Growing side by side, both thriving. Because my pH is 7.0, totally balanced, and in that condition, everything can grow in the same place. I don't know about you, but man, I'm just getting blown away. Like, wow, God, you made this easy. He made it so easy for us. I don't have to worry about what my soil can.
And I note that you haven't mounded your blueberry.
Why would I mound anything?
Yeah, but normally they'll mound blueberries some so they'll stay up higher than the water. But you've got yours on a level area and they're just doing great.
And I'm growing wasabi that wants to grow in standing water right in front of them, in full sun. And it's been hot this summer, and it's looking like that. If you like wasabi, taste those leaves. I mean, they're hot, they're awesome. Isn't that cool? You guys dig? Isn't that nice stuff?
This is wasabi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Paul, you growing
wow.
So I have a question. So how long, so I just covered my garden, like you said, just now, with about that thick of tree trimmings from the tree companies. How long till you can expect this type of quality from your garden? Is it really, I mean, I know that's, I can plant it next year.
I've been here 35 years.
Right.
It wasn't this way day one.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is going to be better than it's ever been, and over time, every year, it's better and better. See, this is why I do this. I've been here 35 years. And so what I'm sharing with you cannot argue with. You cannot say like, this is a new thing, this won't work. This is why I do this. I want to give you hope. This is functional. This cannot fail. This will work anywhere. And this is a demonstration. 35 years that orchard has not been watered or fertilized. I've fed my family of 7 children out of this garden for all these 35 years, 40 years, my oldest. And they're all well and healthy. I'm just telling you, this can't be argued, but it can't be saying like, this is a new idea, I don't know about. This is real. This is functional. This cannot fail. It's impossible. And all of you have access to this. You can all do it. If you've got land, all you need is a covering, a skin, and you can grow awesome stuff like this.